So you get 8. You get 8 upon 20. So that is 4 upon 10. So 0.4 ampere. So option C would be the right answer.
So whatever may be the intensity, if the condition is satisfied that the incident radiation has frequency more than threshold,
every value of this n is also connected to some value in the domain. So that is the condition for a function.
Hello, dear students. My name is Vikas Agarwal, and I'm here to present the solution of physics section of JMMT-04. Let's begin. So the first question says that a spaceship of some mass is launched into a circular orbit close to the Earth surface. The additional velocity to be imparted to the spaceship in the orbit to overcome the gravitational pull will be. Now let's understand here, guys. If this is Earth and it has a radius r, and the question says that it has been launched into a circular orbit close to the Earth's surface, then we are talking about an orbit like this. Okay, we are talking about an orbit like this, and we can assume that the radius of the orbit is very close to the radius of the Earth, and therefore the orbital speed of the satellite would be root gm by capital R. Okay. Now, if we want to ensure that the spaceship, it overcomes the gravitational pull of the Earth, it basically means that we are trying to make this ship escape. Okay. So escape velocity from at a distance, which is very close to the value of r, would be root 2 times of gm by r. All right. So the delta v, the change in speed that we need to do, the additional velocity that we need to impart, it would be VE minus V naught. So it will become root 2 times minus 1. And then you can see the calculation, it's GM by R, root of GM by R. Add root of GM by R can be written as gravitational, uh, the acceleration due to gravitation on the surface of the Earth into the radius of the Earth. And these two data have been given to us in the question. The radius of Earth is given, the value of G is given. So we just need to finish this calculation now. So it will become root 2 minus 1. Okay, we can see root 2 minus 1 in the option. So we've already got that. Now root of G is 10 and R. R is 6,400, and then kilometers. I will convert the kilometers to meters. So this is what it becomes. And then it is root 2 minus 1. And if you carefully notice it, we have 10 raised to power 3 that will come out of the root, and we have 8 that will come out of the root. This is in meter per second. So in terms of kilometer per second, it becomes 8 into root 2 minus 1 kilometer per second. So option A would be the right answer. All right, so that was question number 1 of the physics section, and option A would be the right answer to this one. And the question says, second question says, if the RMS speed of the chlorine molecule is this much at this much temperature, the RMS speed of the argon molecule at the same temperature will be. Atomic mass of argon is given, atomic mass of chlorine is given. So students, the formula for RMS speed of molecules is root 3 RT by M. Okay, here we have been given like the RMS speed of chlorine molecule is given, and then the RMS speed of argon molecule has been asked. So what I can see here that if I try to take the ratio of velocity of RMS speed of argon molecules divided by the RMS speed of chlorine molecules, okay, then what will happen that the factors which will be common are going to get cancelled when I take the ratio. So 3 will get cancelled, R will get cancelled, T will get cancelled. So it will simply become mass of chlorine, okay, mass of chlorine divided by mass of argon and root of that. So I'll just finish this calculation. So mass of chlorine is 70.3 and mass of argon is 39.9. All right, and this ratio, you have to finish the calculation here. This ratio will turn out to be somewhere close to 1.33, and therefore the velocity of the argon molecules can be written as 1.33 times the velocity of the chlorine molecules, which is given to be 490. So when you finish this calculation, this would be somewhere around 551. All right, so option C would be the right answer to this question. I'm sorry, option B would be the right answer. Like when we finish this calculation, I'll just check the calculation once. So it would be, yeah, 651. I'm sorry. Yeah, it would be 651.7. Okay. Next, we go to question number 28. It says average force of 125 Newton is applied on a machine gun firing bullets each of mass 10 gram at the speed to keep in the position. Now, guys, we have a gun, let's say like this. Okay. This is a gun, and this gun has been firing bullets. All right. This gun has been firing bullets, and we want to keep this gun in position. Now, every time it fires a bullet of mass m and velocity at velocity v, it imparts mv momentum to the bullet. And if it's firing n bullets per minute or per second, if it's firing n bullets per second, so this much is the momentum being imparted per second. Okay, so the same momentum at the same rate will be received by the gun. So gun will experience a backward momentum of nmv per second. So this will also become, so because it is the momentum per second, it becomes the force acting on the gun. So to keep the gun in this position, we need to exert a force from behind, which should match with this force. So the answer would be MBN. Now the force is given to us as 125 Newton, and the mass of each bullet is 10 grams. So 10 upon 1000, okay, 10 gram. And then velocity of bullet is 250. And then N is what we are trying to find out. So we will finish this calculation. So this 125 will get cancelled. Here we'll get 2. This will become 100. So 2 by 100 is, so the value of N comes out to be 50. So 50 would be the right answer to this question. So option A is the right answer. Next, we go to question number 29, which is the fourth question of physics section. It says a cylindrical wire of this much mass has this much length and radius this much. Maximum error in the density. Now, from the given data, the density would be calculated as mass upon volume, and volume would be written as pi r square into L. Okay, so that is how we can calculate the volume. Uh, yeah. Now, if we take log and we differentiate on both sides, we will get dm by m. Okay, the pi thing is a constant, so it will not appear. And then we will get minus 2 dr upon r minus dl upon l. But when we are trying to calculate the maximum percentage error, then what we assume that we are the unluckiest people and all the errors will get added up. Like there could be a scenario where there is a positive error in mass and there is a positive error in radius, such that these two cancel out each other. So that would be a lucky situation for us. But as scientists, we assume that what if the luck is not on our side? So it may be a situation that we have positive error in mass, but negative error in radius and negative error in length, and therefore the errors they get accumulated, they get added up. So with that, whenever we are trying to find out the maximum percentage error, okay, and even if the question doesn't say maximum, it only says we find the error. We then also we try to find out the maximum error only. So we will add them up. So it will become dm by m plus 2 into dr by r plus dl by l, and then into 100 is what we are going to do to get the maximum percentage error. I'll finish the calculation here. So dm here is 0.01 divided by zero point 0.4, and then we will have 2 times the radius. So dr is 0.03 and the radius is 6, and dl is 0.04 and this is 8. Okay, so we'll multiply this entire thing by 100. So I'll take the 100 inside. So it will become 1 upon zero point 0.4, that becomes 10 by 4, which becomes 2.5. Okay, then the next it becomes 3, it becomes 1, it becomes 4 by 8, which is 0.5. So ultimately we can see an error of 4%, and option C will become the right answer. So option C is the right answer here. Next, we go to question number 30, which is question number 5 of physics section. It says, figure shows the part of an electric circuit. The potentials of point A, B, C are 30, 12, and 2. Okay. So the potential of A point is 30, the potential of B point is 12 volt, and the potential of C point is 2 volt. And now we have been asked the current through the 20 ohm resistor. Okay. So for that, I will first find out the potential of this point. Let this point be, the potential of this point be V. So we will write that the net outflowing current from this node is 0, and I'm writing it here. So I will write V minus 30 divided by 10. So that gives me the current going in this direction, V minus 30 by 10. Then next I will write V minus 12 by 20. So that gives me the current going in this direction. And then I will write V minus 2 by 30. So that gives me the current going in this direction. The sum of this is 0. So I will multiply this entire equation with 60. So that will give me 6 into V minus 30 plus 3 into V minus 12 plus 2 into V minus 2 is equals to 0. So from here, I will get 6V, 3V, 9V, 9V, and 2V, 11V. So 11V is equals to, this will become 180, and because of the negative side, negative sign, it will go on the other side of equality. 3 into 12 is 36, 2 into 2 is 4, so this becomes 220. So the value of V is 20 volt. Now we know that the potential here is 20 volt, and we want to know the current through the 20 ohm resistor. So that's pretty simple now. On one side of the 20 ohm resistor, you have a potential of 20. On the other side, it is 12. So 20 minus 12 is the potential difference, and you divide it with the resistance. So you get 8. You get 8 upon 20. So that is 4 upon 10. So zero point 0.4 ampere. So option C would be the right answer. All right, so option C is the right answer to this question. Next, we go to question number 31, which again looks a very straightforward question. Now, this question says, choose the correct representation for curve A and curve B. XC represents reactance of pure capacitive circuits selected. So, XC is actually 1 upon omega C then. Okay. XL similarly is omega into L. R is, it is the impedance of the pure resistive circuit, so that is the resistance value only, and Z will become XL minus XC square plus R square and root of that. Okay, now the question says that you have to choose the curve. So guys, you can see that if we are drawing a graph of x versus the frequency is it's directly proportional to omega. So this should be a straight line. This should be a straight line, and this would be a rectangular hyperbola. Based on that, you can see that A option can be XE and B option can be XL. So option D looks the right one here. Okay, straightforward question. Okay. Then we go to question number 32. It says an electron is allowed to move with constant velocity along the axis of the current carrying solenoid. All right. So this is a solenoid and it is moving along the axis, okay, with some velocity. The electron will experience magnetic force along the axis of the solenoid. That is wrong because in a solenoid, the magnetic field is also along the axis. So here, what is happening? The velocity of the electron has become parallel to the magnetic field, and in such a case, the magnetic force becomes zero. So this statement is wrong. Okay, the electron will not experience magnetic force. This is correct. The electron will continue to move along the axis of the solenoid. Again, this is correct. There is no force. So, the electron will just continue to move with a constant velocity in the same direction. The electron will be accelerated. That is wrong. The electron will follow parabolic path. That is again wrong. So only B and C are correct. So option C would be the right one. All right. Next, we go to question number 33, which is question number 20, which is eighth question of physics section. The kinetic energy of an electron, alpha particle, and a proton are given as 4k, 2k, and k. The de Broglie wavelength associated with the electron. Okay, guys. So how do we write the de Broglie wavelength? It is h by p. Now p can be written as root 2 mk, where k is the kinetic energy. All right. So what I'll try to do, I'll try to find out the ratio of de Broglie wavelength of electron, alpha particle, and proton. All right. How will I do that? So when I take the ratio, see h will be common, so it will get cancelled. 2 will be common, it will get cancelled. So essentially, it is the root of m by k, m into k that will affect this ratio. So for electron, the mass is around 1 upon 1840 times the mass of proton. So I will write 1 upon 1840. I'm treating mass of proton as 1 AMU basically. Okay, so I'm substituting all the masses in AMU, and because it is the ratio that I'm calculating, you see that it will not have any impact on the ratio. Okay, so this is mass of electron, and the kinetic energy of the electron was given to be 4k. All right. Next, for alpha particle, the mass will become 4 AMU, or I can simply write 4, and the kinetic energy is given as 2k. And for the proton, the mass will become 1 and the kinetic energy is given as k. All right, let's finish this calculation now. So this is 4 upon 1840. So that's nearly what? 4 and then around 60. So we get root 460. Root 460 by root k. Root k will again get captured. So ignore that. 1 upon root 8 here and 1 upon root 1 here. So we can clearly see that the wavelength of electron is way more than the other two values. Okay, and between these two, 1 upon root 1 is the larger value. So the electron is more than proton, which is more than alpha particle. So C option seems to be the right one. Okay, so C option is the right one. Now we get to the next question. So it says a body is projected with a certain velocity has a horizontal range which is many times the maximum height. Find the change in the angle. So I'll explain the question to you. So first, let's say we projected with some speed at some angle, and we got some range. Let's say R1, and the maximum height was something. Let's say H1. So this number indicates the ratio. Like the ratio of range and height was root 48 initially. Okay, so that is the situation. Next, what we did, we changed the angle of projection. All right, we changed the angle of projection, but we did not change any velocity. So in the next case, we probably projected at a different angle, let's say θ2, such that we got a different range, we got a different height. All right, and now R2 by H2 is root of 16 by 3. So that is the situation. So the angles have changed. Okay, the angle have changed. Now we need to find out that how much angle did we change. So θ1 minus θ2 mod is what we are looking for as the answer. So my plan is to calculate θ1 and then θ2 and then take the difference. So let me do that. So for in any general case, range would be given by u square sine 2 theta, which is 2 sine theta cos theta, okay, divided by g. And then let this number, this root 48 or root 16 by 8, let me write it as root of n. Okay. For this case, n will be equal to 48, and for this case, n will be equal to 16 by 3. Let me first make the formula that I'm going to use in this question. So root n into the height is u square sine square theta by 2g. And from here, I can see that there are many things which are going to get cancelled. For example, u square is going to get cancelled. 1 sine theta we can lose, g we can lose. So ultimately, we are left with tan theta. This sin theta, we'll keep it here. Cos theta, will take it to the other side. So tan theta is equals to 4 divided by root n is what we are getting. So I'm going to use this formula twice. So in the first case, tan theta 1 will be equal to 4 divided by root of 48, which can also be written as root of 16 by 48, which will become this. So theta 1 is 30 degree. All right, and in the next case, I will write tan theta 2 is equals to 4 divided by root of 16 by 3, which becomes root 3. All right, so theta 2 is 60 degree, and therefore the difference of the two angles is 30 degree. So option A would be the right answer. All right, students. Okay, so option A is correct here. Next, we go to question number 35. Let's have a look at this question. This question says that the charges of the capacitors in steady state. Now, guys, in steady state, in any branch, if a capacitor is present, then no current can flow through that branch, which means that the current is flowing like this only. So it's a single loop circuit, and therefore we can find out the value of the current also very simply. It is net EMF, which is 10 volt, divided by the total resistance, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, so 10. So a current of 1 ampere, a current of 1 ampere is flowing in the circuit. All right, now if I check the potential difference between these 2 points, so it would be 1 ampere into 3 ohm. All right, so the potential difference across the 5 microfarad capacitor would be 3 volt. Okay, similarly, if I check the potential difference across the 3 microfarad capacitor, then it would be the potential difference between these 2 points, this one and this one. So this resistor is 5 into 1 is 5 volt. So the potential difference across this capacitor is 5 volt. So the charge on this one is 15 microcoulomb, and the charge on this one is also 15 microcoulomb. So option A would be the right answer. Is that okay, everyone? Next, we go to question number 36. It says three hollow cylinders A, B, C, each of mass M, are allowed to roll on three inclined planes A prime. So we have three inclined planes, each making angle theta. Okay, each making angle theta. Let this be A prime, let this be B prime, let this be C prime. Here we are releasing three identical cylinders A, B, and C. Okay, now the difference is only between the coefficient of frictions. Okay, so for A and A prime, coefficient of friction is zero. So here there is no friction. Here there is friction. Okay, B and B prime is greater than zero but less than. So friction is there. It is not zero, but okay, it is not zero, but it is less than tan theta by 2. And here friction coefficient is more than tan theta by 2. Now, guys, to do this question, first we must be aware of what is the significance of this. The relations that has been given between mu and theta. So if you don't know it, like I'll tell you something, you might be knowing it, you may not be knowing it, but let me tell you this. So let me first tell you the theory that is being used in this question. So when we release a round object, any round object on an inclined plane with friction coefficient theta, with friction coefficient mu, there is a certain minimum value of coefficient of friction which is needed for this round object to undertake pure rolling. Okay, I'll repeat. There is a certain minimum value of coefficient of friction that is needed for this object to undertake pure rolling. If the friction coefficient is more than that value, that limiting value, that certain value, that critical value, then pure rolling will take place. If it is less than that value, then pure rolling will not take place. Rolling with slipping will take place. Okay, and if friction coefficient is absolutely zero, then rolling will not take place, only sliding will take place. In all the three cases, I'm assuming that we have released the object. Okay, so what is that minimum coefficient of friction which is needed for pure rolling to take place? The formula for that is tan theta divided by 1 plus mr square by I. All right. So with this formula, like let's say if I want to know that what would be the minimum coefficient, let me just check once that am I correct or not. So the more the coefficient of friction, the more the moment of inertia, uh, the denominator will become smaller, and therefore, the demand of coefficient friction will be more. Yeah, which is correct. Okay. I was just checking that have I written the correct formula or not. So mu minimum for a ring or maybe a hollow cylinder. Hollow cylinder is as good as a ring in terms of as far as the calculation of moment of inertia about the standard axis is concerned. So for this case, it will become tan theta divided by 1 plus mr square by mr square. Correct. 1 plus mr square by mr square. So it will become tan theta by 2, and therefore you see a tan theta by 2 in this question. What about if we were talking about a disk? Okay, let me use this disk. What about if I want to calculate the minimum coefficient of friction needed for a disk? Then that would be tan theta divided by 1 plus mr square divided by mr square by 2. All right, which will become what? 1 plus half 3 by 2. So it will become 2 by 3 into tan theta. Okay, so that's around 0.66. Uh, is this correct? Just a minute, please. A bit of calculation error here. It is one. This will become 1 plus 2 actually. So it will just become this. Okay, so it will just become the. So let me just erase this part. Okay, so it will become 0 point. I knew that a disk demands less friction than a ring, so I just checked myself. Similarly, if I want to check the minimum coefficient of friction needed for a, let's say, solid sphere, okay, let's say solid sphere, then that would be tan theta divided by 1 plus mr square by I is 2 by 5. So 2 by 5, so it will become 5 by 2. So it will become 2 by 7 tan theta. All right, so just showing you that you can calculate the different coefficient of friction needed for different objects. So here what will happen now, what we know from all the discussion that we have done now is that this will just, slide. This will simply slide without rotation. So angular velocity would be 0 here. This will rotate and slide, but slipping will take place here. And this will undertake pure rolling. Okay, this will undertake pure rolling. So let's read the options. C has minimum angular speed. That is wrong. A has zero angular speed, which is minimum. All three have equal total kinetic energy, which is again wrong because B will suffer because here sliding is taking place. Because of the sliding, there would be a loss of energy. Okay, so they will not have the equal kinetic energy. No. B takes minimum time to reach. Again, this is wrong. Why? See, a doesn't have any upward force, so A will reach in the least time. B and C, they both have friction acting in the upward direction, which will slow them down. So A will reach in the minimum time. So this is again wrong. So D has to be correct. B suffers a loss in mechanical energy. Yes, we do. We know that because B is undergoing slipping, and therefore there would be loss of energy. So D option is the correct one. Okay. Now we go to the next question, question number 37. Now this says when a steel wire fixed at one end is pulled by a constant force. Okay, let's understand this. This is a steel wire, and let's say we have fixed it at one end, and then we are pulling this wire by a constant force. This is very important to understand. See, normally, if you would imagine that you are using a spring or you are treating this wire as a spring, and then you say that I started pulling this, then please keep in mind that in case of a spring, like you can't just say that okay, I'm exerting 10 Newton of force on one end and I'm keeping it as a constant value. You can't do that. All right, if you because the force at both the ends has to be equal, and you can't just declare that I'm exerting 20 Newton at one end and 30 Newton at other end. It doesn't work that way. Okay, when you are pulling a string, and this string is, let's say, we generally assume it to be massless, the force will be proportional to x, but here in this case, the force has been given to be a constant value. So here what happens is that because you are exerting a force which is increasing with displacement, there is no loss of energy which is taking place. Okay, because this spring cannot acquire any kinetic energy because its mass is zero. Here, what will happen when you pull it? It will the wire. I'm really showing a big displacement. So let me decrease that actually. So I was just trying to keep the figure clean. Okay. So when you start pulling, this was constant. Let's say this was the equilibrium length. Okay. Let's say so the wire will overshoot the length. The wire will overshoot the length, and then it will some oscillations will take place, and then the equivalent length, like the wire will settle into an equilibrium position. Of course whatever oscillations I'm saying here that will happen, okay, they will be so tiny that you will not feel it. You exerted one end of the wire, you just pulled it, so there would be some vibrations. Okay, in real life, if I say, and again, don't imagine yourself pulling the wire because you will not be someone who will be able to exert a constant force. So how do we exert the constant force then? Can I hang the mass? No, because when you hang the mass, it is not the weight that you are exerting, it is the tension that you are exerting, which will again not be in your control. So no, no, no. So how can I exert a constant force? Well, just for theoretical purpose, what you can do, you can attach, let's say, a charge here with some value, and then you can switch on an electric field. That will lead to a constant force being acting on the other end of the wire. Okay, and in that case, the wire will definitely overshoot its equilibrium length, and then it will settle down at the equilibrium. So in this case, the energy losses happened. It has definitely happened. Okay, so the question says that the equilibrium length is L. So keep in mind, guys, the equilibrium length is L. So this length is L. Okay, this length is L. So work done by F is, so that's correct. But sir, oscillations took place. What about those? So guys, the force always acted in this direction. So even if the oscillations took place, then the work done was more than FL, less than FL, more than FL. So ultimately, what matters is the displacement of the point of application of force when we are dealing with a constant force. So it would be FL. So this is correct. Heat is produced, that is also correct, because the energy stored in the spring, in the wire, that energy will be given by the formula for a spring. So the energy is half kx square, or we write the energy as F square by 2k. All right, or you can also write it as FL by 2k, FL by 2, where L is the equilibrium length. Okay, because see this, if I pull this x here, so kx is the force, x is the elongation, so FL by 2. So the energy stored is FL by 2. The work done was FL, so the difference is the heat produced. Okay, so the elastic energy, so this is correct. Now the heat produced is equal to half of the no, that is not correct. It's not equal to half. Heat produced is the difference of these two, which is also FL by 2. So mathematically, heat produced is same as the elastic the energy stored here, because it is half of the total work done. So therefore, this statement is wrong, and we were supposed to identify the incorrect one. So option D would be the right one here. Now coming to question number 38, a thin prism is kept in a surrounding medium which is different than air. Okay, now in such a cases, how do we calculate the deviation? See, deviation, the normally when a thin prism is kept in air, the formula for deviation is A into mu minus 1. Now, any formula in ray optics which is written by assuming that air is present in the surrounding. All right, like any instrument which you have kept in air and then you have made a formula for that instrument, and that formula uses the refractive index of the instrument. And now, in a question, a situation comes when the surrounding medium has been changed. So, in those cases, what you need to do, you need to change mu to mu relative. Now, what is mu relative? Don't take the difference of the two refractive index. In terms of refractive indices, relative means dividing by the refractive index of the surrounding. So, here, what you should do is that refractive index of prism divided by refractive index of surrounding minus 1. That will give you the deviation. So, let's finish the calculation. So, prism angle is 4 degree. Refractive index of prism is given to be 2.5. So 2.5 divided by surrounding is 5 by 3. So 5 by 3 minus 1. Okay. So how much does that become? So this 2.5, let me write it as 5 by 2. So the 5 gets cancelled. So it becomes 3 by 2. 3 by 2 minus 1 is half. So it becomes 4 degree into half, which is actually 2 degree. So 2 degree downward would be the right answer. Although there is no other option having 2. So I did not worry about down or up. But we are getting a positive value here. And this formula actually indicates a deviation in the downward direction. So therefore, I went with downward. In case if we would have got a negative number, then I would have assumed that it was deviating in the upward direction. I hope that is clear to everyone. We will now move to the next question. So this question says three coherent beams of light get superimposed at point O. The intensity corresponding to each is I, but phase of the first one is less than that of the second. So let this be the second one. So this is, let's say, A2, because all of them are producing same intensity, their amplitudes needs to be equal. So let's A2 be equal to 1. Now it says the intensity of the corresponding is, the phase of the one is less than that. So let me draw A1 here. Okay, A1 here, which will also be equal to A, and this angle will be equal to pi by 3, which is 60 degree, and it is greater than that of the third. So then A3 will be here. Okay, this will be A3, and this. So if I ask you to find out the resultant of these three arrows, it would be A plus A cos 60 into 2, which is 2A. All right. So now if the intensity was I and that was proportional to A square, then the new resultant intensity would be proportional to 2A square. So it will become 4 times of the previous one. So 4I would be the right answer. Okay. Next we go to question number 40. It says A sine omega t plus phi naught. Okay. This is the time displacement equation. Okay. At t equal to 0, the displacement of the particle is a by 2 and it is moving along the next cell. So guys, any SHM, we can compare it with the circular motion. We use the circular motion analogy, and according to the information given here, like what is happening here, um, I will assume that a particle is moving on the circle and its projection on the y-axis is this particle, which is performing the SHM. Okay, so according to the question, the SHM performing particle is somewhere here, which means that there are two positions of the circle that we can have, either here or here. So let me call this as maybe A and B. Now, if we are assuming that the circulating particle was going in anti-clockwise circle, because that is the direction of increasing theta in the coordinate axis. We take theta to be increasing in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So if I consider B as the position where the circulating particle should be at t equal to 0, then understand this. At this moment, B is going like this, and therefore the shadow or the projection of B would be moving in this direction, which is the positive y direction. So this is wrong. So this is definitely wrong. So option A is left. A is going in downward direction, so its projection would be going in downward direction. So the position of the particle is here, but it's coming downward. So A is correct. All right. So A is correct. Now this angle becomes the initial phase. So how much will this angle be? So if this height is a by 2, if this is a, then this angle becomes 30 degree or pi by 6. So phi naught will become 5 pi by 6. Pi minus pi by 6, that is 5 pi by 6. So 5 pi by 6 would be the right answer here. So option B. Option B would be the correct one. Okay, now to do this question, like the way in which I have done this question, you need to be aware of the circular motion analogy. All right. Here we come with the next question. Now, this question says a charge q is placed at one corner of a cube. The flux of the so first of all, guys, in the question, it may not be very clear that what is the shaded area that we are given. Okay, again, this is something that can happen in the actual exam also. So you need to go with the best interpretation. So let me tell you that what is the interpretation with which I am going forward. Okay, so at the top surface, this top surface, so half of this surface, okay, the ceiling of the cube, so half of that, okay, and then the right vertical surface, half of that. So from this, we have been asked the value of flux. Now let's try to understand this, that if there is a charge q here, then only three surfaces will have flux flowing through them. That would be this one, okay, the top one, okay, and then this one, okay, and then this one, the front one. So only three surfaces, and flux will pass through all of them equally. All right. So q and if it is present on this corner, then 1 upon 8 of this charge will be inside the cube. The other 7 by 8 part of the charge will be outside the cube. So this is the charge inside. We divide it with epsilon naught. So this is the total flux coming out of the cube, and it is coming out of the three surfaces. So if I divide it by three, so this is the flux coming out of one surface. Like only from this surface, this much flux is coming out. And if you notice carefully, from this surface also, it is equally divided into the two halves. From this one and this one, these situations are because this would be a symmetry plane. This would be a symmetry plane for this. This would be a symmetry plane. The one pass. So therefore, this area and this area they are identical. So this is again divided by two. Okay, and then we have two such areas. This one and this one. Again, the flux coming out of this surface. You know, this entire surface is also symmetrical about this diagonal. So we have two such surface, so into two. So this two and this two gets cancelled. So Q by 24 epsilon naught is what we are looking for. So this would be the right answer. All right. A bit of imagination is needed in this question, and a bit of experience is needed with questions involving such, like in which the particle is kept at the edge of the cube, maybe at the center of the cube, at the corner of a cube. So you know, a bit of experience is needed to understand whatever I've done here. Now coming to this question, question number 42. The truth table for the logic circuit is okay, guys. So A will reach here. Okay, let me change the color of the pen. Uh, so A will reach here and B complement will reach here. A complement will reach here and B will reach here. From here we will get A dot B complement, and from here we will get A complement dot B, and then they both into the this NOR gate. Okay, so when they come out of the NOR gate, it would be A dot B prime plus A prime dot B and complement of this entire thing, and that becomes Y. Okay, so then I can expand this by writing A prime plus B double prime, okay, dot A double prime plus B prime. Okay, so this I can expand. What I've used here, I've used that x plus y complement. Okay, this can be written as x complement dot y complement. Okay, and I've used this twice. Okay, so first okay, I'll do an intermediate step also. So when I open this bracket, it would be like A dot B prime prime dot A prime dot B prime, and then this will expand into this, and this will expand into this. All right, and then further, if you solve it, next step it becomes A prime plus B, because B double prime would be B, and similarly A plus B prime. Okay, and then what you do? I'm doing it here now. Okay, so A prime into A is zero. A prime into B prime is what you will get, A prime B prime, and then B into A you will get AB, and then B to B prime is zero. So this is the ultimate thing that you are getting, and now you can match. So from here, what we understand is we can simply match. Okay, for example, if I choose A as 0 and B as 0, okay, so this side will become 0, but this side will become 1. So this matches. If one of them is 1, okay, if one of them is 1, then the other, the complement will become 0. Okay, so this product will also become 0. This product will also become 0. So we get a 0. The same thing will happen in the next also, 1, 0 also. And if both of them are 1, then this will become 1, but this will become 0. So luckily, option A matched. So option A would be the right one. You can likewise check for the other tables also, and you can figure out the right one. Okay. Next, we go to question number 43. Now, this question says a thermodynamic process is shown on the PV diagram for 1 mole of air. Now, V2 is given. So we have doubled the volume. We have expanded the gas to double its volume. And we have asked the ratio of the temperature. Guys, it's a very simple question because the question here, this equation is given in the graph. It says PV raised to power half equal to constant. Now, keep this in mind. P can be written as nRT by V. So nRT by V into V raised to power half equal to constant. In other words, T is proportional to root V, or in other words, T2 by T1 would be same as root of V2 by V1, which is root of 2. Okay, that's it. We got the answer. So B option would be the right answer. So a very simple question, I would say. All right. Now, question number 44. This question says that an electron with kinetic energy K1 enters into the between the plates of a capacitor. So let's say these are the plates of a capacitor, and if the capacitor plates are charged, it will have some electric field also, and therefore, when a particle enters, a charged particles, let's say it enters with making some angle with the plate, let's say alpha, with a speed, let's say v naught. Okay, by the time it leaves, the component of the velocity, which is perpendicular to the plates. Okay, that component might change, and therefore there could be a change in the speed. So now the angle is beta, but what we know is that the component parallel to the plates will not change. So this has to be V cos beta, and this V cos beta has to be same as V naught cos alpha. So V naught cos alpha would be same as V cos beta. This is what we are getting. Now, the question says K1 by K2. K1 is the kinetic energy here, and K2 is the kinetic energy as it is coming out. So K1 will be written as half m V naught square, and K2 will be written as half m V square. So when you take the ratio of K1 is to K2, half m gets cancelled, and it is essentially V naught square by V square. And from this equation, from equation number one, this ratio can be written as cos square beta upon cos square alpha. So D option is the right answer here. Okay. So that was 19th question of physics section. Now we come to the last question of the SCQ part of physics section. It says the energy of helium ion in its first guys, understand this. Most of the students read the first state. They ignore the word excited. Somehow they forget to read it. First excited state is the second orbit. Okay, it's the second orbit. So we want to know the energy of helium ion in the second orbit. Now, the formula is 13.6. Okay, 13.6. Z square by N square. That's the formula for any hydrogen-like atom. Okay. Therefore, for helium, Z will become 2. And because we are seeking the energy of the second orbit, N will also become 2. And therefore, it's going to get cancelled out. So option C will be the right answer. Okay. So option C is correct here. In this question, there are like, if you will get this question wrong, most likely you will get it wrong because you ignored the word excited or you did not notice it. You did not notice its existence. That is the most common reason of getting this question wrong. Okay, now we come to the numerical section. It says a body is dropped on the ground from a height h1. After hitting the ground, it rebounds to height h2. All right. The ratio of the velocities of the world just before and after the ground. So the body hit the ground with some velocity, let's say u naught, and then it rebounded with some velocity, which will, of course, it will either be less than u naught or it may be equal to u naught if there is no loss of kinetic energy, but there was loss and it became u naught by 4. All right. Now the question says that the percentage loss in kinetic energy. So let's understand here if the if the kinetic energy before the strike was half m u naught square, then the kinetic energy after the strike would be half m and u naught by 4 square. So it is k naught by 16. All right, it is k naught by 16. So the loss in kinetic energy, the loss in kinetic energy is actually k naught minus k naught by 16. So that is 15 k naught by 16. And if I'm trying to calculate the percentage loss, then it would be 15 by 16 into k naught divided by k naught. So k naught will be gone and then into 100. So this we need to finish and need to compare it with x by 4. So let's see what the value of x turns out to be. So this will become 4 times, this will become 25 times, and then 4 and 4 gets cancelled. So x is 15 into 25, which turns out to be 375. So 375 is the answer. Okay, now we go to next question. It says a 600 picofarad capacitor is charged by 200. So we had a capacitor which has a capacitance C and we charged it with a potential. So this is C, this is V. It is then disconnected from the supply and connected to another uncharged 600 picofarad. So the same. So basically it acquired some charge, let's say Q naught, and we know that the value of Q naught would be CV. And then we connected this capacitor with an uncharged capacitor identical. Okay, so what will happen? The charge will get equally divided between the two. Okay, now the energy lost in the process is how much? Okay, So initially the energy was, let's say, half CV square. The final energy would be the energy possessed by one capacitor. Okay, see the capacitor initially whatever charge they have, now both of them have half of that charge. So both of them will have half the potential difference between the plates that was there in the in the initially. So I will write half C V by 2 square. Now that's the energy of one capacitor. We have two capacitors now. So into two, and now we can take the difference. It says the energy lost in the process. So the energy loss, all right, the energy loss would be initial value minus final value. Initial value is half CV square. Final value you can calculate it from here. It will become CV square by 4. Okay, if I finish the calculation, it becomes CV square by 4. Okay, so or let me do it here only. Oh, let me do it here. So CV square by 4. So CV square by 4 is the answer. Let me finish it here. Okay, so 1 by 4 into how much was the capacitance? It was 600 picofarad, 10 raised to the minus 12. Into V square, how much was V? 200. So 200 into 200. Now notice that we have to give the answer in terms of microjoules. So 10, 20, 30, 4, 5, 6. 6 zeros are gone. So 10 raised to the minus 6 will be left. And because we have to give the answer in microjoule, I can just separate it out. Okay, now whatever number is left, that number should be coming here. And how much is that? This 2, and this 4 gets cancelled out. So only 6 is left. So 6 microjoule is the answer. So 6 would be the answer to this question. Okay, next we come to question number 48. It says oscillating LC circuit consists of 7 millihenry inductor and 1.2 microfarad capacitor. If the maximum charge on the capacitor is this much, now guys, if we have if we have an LC circuit, okay, then the maximum current of this circuit is given by the maximum charge into omega. That's what we are going to use. So maximum charge is given to us as 2.7 into 10 raised to the minus 6 coulombs. Omega would be 1 upon root LC. Okay, 1 upon root LC. So L is 75 millihenry. So it is 75 into 10 raised to the minus 3. Okay, and then it is 1.2 into 10 raised to the minus 6. Okay, so we need to finish this calculation, and let's also notice the unit in which, so we want the current in milliampere. Okay, let's finish the calculation now. So this is 10 raised to power minus 3. This is 10 raised to power minus 6. So 10 raised to power minus 9. I would want to have an odd number in the exponent. So let me get rid of this dot. So that will give me a by 10, which will make it 10 raised to power minus 10. And when it comes out of the root, it will become 10 raised to power minus 5. So I've taken care of this, and I got this. So, and in the root, I have 75 into 12. Okay. So I have 75 into 12. I'll adjust it later on. And then here I have let's say I adjust one of the I'll make it 0.27, and so that is this changes to 10 raised to minus 5, so this also gets cancelled. Okay, now this is the answer that we are getting in amperes. I want the answer in milliamperes, so I will multiply with 1000, and then I can say that I'm getting the answer in milliamperes. So this will become 270 divided by root 75. Root 75 is 3 into 5 square, and 12 is 3 into 4. So this becomes 270 divided by, we can actually get rid of the root sign now. I can clearly see that 3 and 3 will come out of the root. 5 square will come out of the root. 4 will come out of the root as 2. 5 into 2 takes away 1 0. So 9. 9 is what we are getting. So 9 is the correct answer. Okay, that brings us to the second last question, which is also an interesting question. So, guys, it says, see, we have a round tube. Let's say this round tube is lying in a horizontal plane, and then there is a liquid which is rushing through this tube. Okay, so liquid is going in circles around this. Okay, so do you think that there would be tension in the tube? All right, do you think that there is so? I'll tell you a formula here. This figure is from the horizontal plane. Let's say now, if we are looking at this figure from the top, if we are looking at this figure from the top, then we will witness the tube like this. Okay, and some mass is running in this tube, some mass is running in this tube, and therefore there would be a tension in the tube. So no, so the mass is, some liquid is gushing through this tube. Okay, so in this case, in such cases, if you pick any dm mass, dm mass of the liquid. Okay, so because this liquid is going in circle, okay, or this mass is going in circle, uh, uh, you can say that there would be some force exerted by the tube on this mass, and that force would be dm omega square into r. Okay, so the tension developed in such cases is written as total radial force. Okay, it is written as total radial force by 2 pi. You can remember it as the formula. Remember, guys, I'm not talking about the net force, because net force would be zero. There would be another diametrically opposite element of mass dm. On that, the force would be in this direction. So the two forces are going to get cancelled out. If I start talking about the vectors, I'm not talking about vectors. I'm talking about simply adding the magnitude of all these forces. So total radial force. I did not say net. I said total radial force. You just add the magnitude and divide by 2 pi, you will get the tension. So total radial force would be integration of dm into omega square r, and then you divide it by 2 pi. Integration of dm will become how much? It will become m. So m omega square r by 2 pi is your answer. Let's finish this now. How much is the mass of the liquid here? So density into pi d square by 4. That's the cross-sectional area of the tube. Okay, into the length of the tube. Length of the tube would be equal to 2 pi r, the circumference. So this is the mass. Okay, this is the mass. And then omega square r divided by 2 pi. This is our answer. Let's see what all things get cancelled out. So we lose 2 pi, so that is gone. Omega square r square is actually v square. And in fact, in the question, we have not been given the value of omega, we have been given the value of v only. Okay, so therefore, this becomes rho pi d square v square by 4. And if I compare it with the given expression, rho pi d square v square by eta, the value of eta is actually 4. All right, so 4 would be the right answer here. That brings us to the last question of physics section. Let's have a look at this. Now, this question is based on Newton's law of cooling. Okay, what information has been given to us? I'll first make a table between temperature and time. So, at initial instant, the temperature was 52 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then after 10 minutes, it became 36 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then after further 10 minutes, we want to know that what will be the temperature, and the surrounding temperature is given to be 20 degrees Celsius. So, how do we do such questions? So, first of all, you will use these two data points and you will write this equation. Which equation? That change in temperature upon time taken is equals to some constant into surrounding temperature, or you can say the average temperature of the body. Okay, the average. Let me write it. So the surrounding temperature minus the average temperature of the body. Okay. So delta T is how much? Delta T is 36 minus 52. Okay, 36 minus 52. Time is 10 minus 0. So 10 is equals to K. Surrounding temperature is 20. And then average. So average of these two. Average of these two is 52 plus 36 by 2. So that's 88 by 2. That's 44. All right. So what I will get from here? I will get the value of K as this will become minus 16 minus 16 divided by minus 24 into 10, so it will become 2 by 30 or 1 by 15. So I got the value of k. Okay, next I'm going to write the same equation using the next two data points, this and this. So when I use these as the data points, let me do it here. The change in temperature is it would be T minus 36. Notice that earlier we took change as 36 minus 52. Now it becomes T minus 36. Divided by the time, 20 minus 10, that is again 10, is equals to K. K is 1 upon 15. Then surrounding temperature is 20. Average of these two would be 36 plus T by 2. And now we need to do the calculation. We need to finish it. So let me just do this calculation. So this is 2 and 3, cancelled with 5. So 3t minus 3 into 36, 3 into 36 is 108 is equals to this 2 goes on this side. So 40 minus 36 minus t. So this becomes 4t is equals to 4 plus 108, that is 112. So t will be equal to 28 should be the answer, as we can see here. All right, students. So that brings us to the close of the discussion of physics section of this paper. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. I hope you learned a few things from this discussion. And I will see you again next in the discussion of the next test. Till then, bye bye. Take care, everyone, and happy learning. Bye, guys.
Hello everyone. Now let's start discussing the chemistry portion of your JEE Mains mock test number 4. And I'm sure those who started their paper with this chemistry portion, in fact, in your paper started the chemistry part this time. So they must have gained confidence in the paper, and that definitely impacted their overall performance in the positive sense, because that gives you a confidence when you start those questions which are easy, you are able to crack, you are able to solve. That definitely boosts your morale and impact your final performance, the overall performance in a positive sense. And that is the case with chemistry this time. So this is the very first question of chemistry. The correct order of the following compounds showing the tendency towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. So nucleophile, a nucleus loving. will get attracted towards that compound which is electron deficient, where there is a positive charge, right? So as I can see the molecules given here, I can see there are benzene rings and the number of nitro group is different, and we all know nitro is electron withdrawing group. More is the number of electron withdrawing group, lesser is the electron density on benzene ring. Hence, that will facilitate the attack of nucleophile on that benzene ring. So I am sure you got this very right. So the ring with more number of NO2, the nucleophile will get attracted towards it, right? So 4, highest reactivity towards a nucleophilic attack. So 4th, then 3rd, then 2, and then 1. So answer has to be A for apple, right? So and I'm sure you must have marked it as A for apple. Let us see the next question, which is from stoichiometry. Pretty simple it seems. So 1 gram of metal carbonate, you have a metal carbonate M2CO3 that reacts with excess of HCl. So excess of HCl is in excess. So let me write the reaction first. M2CO3 reacts with your HCl to form, yes, MCl plus CO2 plus H2O, right? And let me balance this. So let me put 2 here and 2 here, right? So I have this 1 gram that reacted with excess of HCl and we got 0.01186 moles of CO2 is formed. As you can see, the balanced reaction, 1 mole of metal carbonate on reaction with HCl forms 1 mole of CO2. So the moles of CO2 form is equal to the moles of metal carbonate. So the moles of metal carbonate is 0.01168. That is equal to given mass, that is 1 gram, upon the molar mass of this metal carbonate. And we are supposed to calculate M only, the polar mass. So 0.01186 is equal to 1 by M, and I'm sure without doing any calculation mistake, you got it right as 84.3. The value of M you will calculate here is 84.3. So I'm sure you got this right, guys. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This was the question number 2. The answer was D, donkey. Let's move ahead. So what is the final product, major product A in the given reaction? I can see a compound here on which there is the attack of acid. So of course your H positive will get attracted towards this lone pair and the water will be formed here, resulting into the formation of carbocation, right? So your H positive will attack, water will be lost, resulting into the formation of a carbocation. So you have this carbocation here, right? And you are supposed to tell the major product, right? This is the carbocation that is being formed. This is a 2-degree carbocation, which can definitely make a shift and become 3 degree. So hydride shift will happen and it will become 3 degree. So your positive charge, the carbocation will rearrange and your this will come here, right? So the positive charge will be here and now the Cl negative, right? The Cl negative will attack on this positive charge, resulting into the formation of D, the major product. Yes, so that will be the major product. Your Cl negative will attack on the carbocation that is being formed. So the answer indeed, guys, is D, donkey. Pretty simple. Again, D, donkey. Okay, next question. Let's see the next question. The electrode potential of Mn2 positive to Mn for 3D series element shows positive value. So I'm sure if you have studied the transition elements, the D block elements, there is a table given regarding the 3D series element, and you must have noticed in that table your copper, the electrode potential for copper is given as a positive value, right? So it has a positive because of low hydration energy, because of high energy of atomization. The copper in 3D transition series is having the positive electrode potential value. Guys, just make sure you know the table, you see the trends. You're not expected to learn each and every value given in the table in NCERT, but definitely if there is something different, you should definitely keep that in mind, and you should also know the trends they are following, increasing, decreasing, sudden increase or decrease, because the questions are being frequently asked in inorganic chemistry based on those data tables, right? So indeed the answer for this, those who knew it must got it right. D, donkey. Next question. Which of the following reaction will not form acetaldehyde, CH3CHO? Let's have a look. So CH3CN with diol H. Of course, CN will get converted to CHO, bulky reducing agent. Now CH2 double bond. Okay, again it will give, because oxygen is there, again it will give CH3CHO addition, OH will be there, and they will lose H2 to form CH3CHO. Next, also copper. With copper, the oxidation will happen and you'll get acetaldehyde. In last CrO3H2SO4, a good strong oxidizing agent which will convert your primary alcohol, this is a primary alcohol, to carboxylic acid. So in last case, we get carboxylic acid because we are using a good oxidizing agent that will not just stop at aldehyde stage, that will further oxidize your aldehyde to carboxylic acid. So acetic acid is the product. We'll get in D, rest in all will get acetaldehyde. So we'll mark our answer as D for donkey, guys. So yes, so D for donkey is the correct answer. D, okay. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following will liberate carbon dioxide with sodium bicarbonate? So it is a sodium bicarbonate test. Those acids which are stronger acid than carbonic acid, they will liberate, yes, CO2. So let's see which are stronger acid here. So of course, carboxylic acid is a stronger acid, COH, and here alcohol with nitro groups, 3-nitropicric acid, very strong acid because of the presence of highly withdrawing nitro groups, right? I'm sure you must have done it in sodium bicarbonate test. So B and C, if you can see, they are both very strongly acidic, stronger acid than carbonic acid. So definitely they will show effervescence. Carbon dioxide will be evolved in adding sodium bicarbonate. The answer should be B and C. Yes, so the B and C, the C option, you should mark your answer. Next question. Okay, so there is a compound A which has 4 carbons and of course 2 chlorine. If I see the formula, it is the those compound like which is saturated, right? There's no double triple bond, C4H8Cl2. And on hydrolysis, it gives a compound B. B reacts with hydroxylamine. That means your B should have a carbonyl group, C-double-bond-O. It can be aldehyde or it can be a ketone. But does not give tolerance reagent test. So they made it very clear, though there is a carbonyl group in B, but it is a ketone because it is not giving tolerance test, right? So here I've got the answer that B must be a ketone which is formed from the hydrolysis of Cl2. So there should be geminal Cl2 on both the chlorine should be on the same carbon, so that on hydrolysis both the chlorine are replaced by OH and finally we get ketone. So I have 2 options which are showing ketone. One is B, another is C, right? Okay, in B option I have 1,1 dichloro. On the very first carbon there is a dichloro that will result in the formation of, because it is terminal, aldehyde. But the C option which we have 2,2-dichlorobutane. So I have 2,2-dichlorobutane. So this, I have 2 chlorines here. On hydrolysis, right? On hydrolysis, they will get converted to OH because reaction is there, hydrolysis, OH. 2 OH on the same carbon, highly unstable. They will lose water and become C-double-bond-O. Right? So both the Cl will be replaced by water, 2 OH will replace both the Cl will be replaced by OH on hydrolysis. They will lose water and become this ketone, right? So the answer will mark for A and B indeed is the C option, right? Okay, let's move ahead. 50 ml of 0.2 molar ammonia solution is treated with 25 ml of HCl. The molarity of HCl is also given to you guys. Okay, so my ammonia is there, my HCl is there, and my ammonium chloride, the salt will be formed, right? Yes, okay. So how much ammonia is there? So the moles of ammonia, molarity of ammonia into volume in liters. How many moles of HCl is reacted? Molarity of HCl into the volume, right? Yes. So basically 5 millimoles of ammonia reacts, you can see here, oh sorry, 1 millimole, right? So it will be 1 millimole of ammonia reacts with 0.5 millimoles of HCl to form, of course, 0.5 millimoles of NH4Cl, right? So 1 mole you can say, let me write, okay, in terms of 1 Millimoles, we should do in millimoles or moles, whatever you feel like, reacts with. Let me just write the final. Moles react with 5 millimoles. And if this is the reaction, so 5 millimoles will be left behind. They will be finished. And we get 5 millimoles of this. Got it? Yes. Done. Now we have a weak base and the salt of this weak base with a strong acid. Equal amount, right? 5 here, 5 here. So that makes a basic buffer. Weak base and it's salt with a strong acid makes a what? Basic buffer. So we'll use Henderson-Hasselbalch equation to calculate the pH or POH is equal to pKb log of salt by base concentration, though the moles are equal, right? You can see equal moles of base and the salt. So what we got, guys? So it gets cancelled out. So POH will be equal to, because it is like 1 log 1 0, pKb will be 4.75. So that is pKb because it is already given in the question. So pKb is equal to POH, but they are asking us, don't mark it as 4.75 because they are asking us pH. This is a very so-called silly mistake done by student. POH is 4.75. So 14 minus POH will give you the pH. So you are supposed to tell the pH, not the POH. So the answer indeed is 14 minus 4.75. That is 9.25. Be very careful, very mindful. Next question, guys. A mixture of two white substances was dissolved in water. On passing chlorine gas through the solution, a deep brown color is developed. Addition of BaCl2 solution gives white precipitate. Addition of large amount of NaOH solution to the original solution gives white precipitates whose suspension is water is used as antacid. The mixture gives lilac color in the oxidizing flame and the mixture contains. So I guess if I see the options, antacid, magnesium hydroxide, antacid, I'm sure milk of magnesia, since class 10th you know. So we have just one option which has magnesium, and the second information which gives lilac color in the flame test, potassium give lilac color in the flame test, again important. I suppose these two lines, these two statements in the question are sufficient to mark our answer as A, right? Whereas that deep brown color is because of the bromine. When you add chlorine, the Br negative ion becomes Br2. So that is the deep brown color, you know. And barium sulfate, if you add barium chloride, the sulfate and the solution will form white precipitates of barium sulfate. So on the basis of all these information, all these observation, we can go ahead and mark our answer as A for apple, right? Done. Let's move ahead, guys. Which of the following complex is octahedral, diamagnetic and most stable? So octahedral, I can see 6 ligands in all, but diamagnetic and most stable. So I can see water and Cl, they are the weak field ligands, whereas ammonia and cyanide, Cn, they are strong field ligands. They will form more stable complexes, right? So out of these two, nickel and cobalt complex. So here nickel is in +2 oxidation state, that is D8 configuration, whereas cobalt is in +3 oxidation state. Cobalt, again 2 electron, so D6 configuration is there. And strong field ligand, guys, strong field ligands, right? So because cyanide is a very strong field ligand, so these electrons will get paired up. They will get paired up. Yes, and we have D2sp3 hybridization, the octahedral complex, diamagnetic and stable also. In this case, as we have 8 electrons, right? Even on pairing, we do have, like, we have 8 electrons, but we have sp3d2 hybridization. There is no hybridization dsp3d. So we have sp3d hybridization, still have the unpaired electron. So they were asking us the diamagnetic species in which the all electron paired, no unpaired electron. Stable complex. So cyanide is a strong field ligand, forms a stable complex, right? So we'll mark our answer as D donkey, right? Diamagnetic, octahedral complex and also a stable complex. Next, please, the one that does not stabilize 2 degree and 3 degree, secondary and tertiary structure of protein. I'm sure you should do it. The primary, secondary, tertiary structure of protein. So the secondary and tertiary structure are being stabilized by disulfide linkages, van der Waals, and hydrogen bonding, electrostatic force of attraction. These are the forces which stabilizes the secondary and the tertiary structure of protein. So the question was which will not be there that stabilizes 2 degree, 3 degree structure. So of course the answer will be OO linkage, peroxide linkage, right? So we have disulfide linkage, van der Waals, hydrogen bonding, electrostatic forces. Done. So answer will mark is A. Very direct question from biomolecule. The structure of protein. Okay, consider the following statement and arrange in the order of true and false. Let's read out. The reaction H2O2 gives H2O2 is not an example of redox reaction. We all know it is a redox reaction. Oxygen from -1 going to -2 and 0. It is a redox reaction. The equal mass of ferrous oxalate in acidic medium. So ferrous oxalate, right? So if I talk about ferrous oxalate, iron is in +2 oxidation state, right? Ferrous oxalate. So ferrous will become ferric, so it will lose 1 electron and it will become CO2, 2 electrons. So the one molecule of this will lose 3 electrons. That means its valency factor is 3. So if I have to calculate the equivalent weight, that is molecular weight by 3. So the equivalent mass of ferrous oxalate in acidic medium is molar mass divided by 3. So this is a right statement, guys. The equivalent mass of a substance can be calculated without considering the reaction it undergoes. You all know the equivalent mass of substances can vary depending upon the number of electron gain or loss, the charge, everything, right? So S3 is also a false statement. So first statement is a false statement, second is a true statement, third is a false statement. So we'll mark our answer as B. False, true, false, right? So B should be the answer that we should mark here. Next question. Which of the following species has unequal bond lengths? Let's see. XEF4. XEF4 is square planar. So bond lengths are equal, square planar. sp3d2 hybridization, 2 lone pair, 4 bond pairs. SiF4 again tetrahedral, all equal. SF4 sp3d hybridization, and the shape of this molecule is seesaw. Axial bonds, equatorial bonds, unequal bond length, sp3d hybridization, Bend's rule. Yes, so Bend's rule applies here. Seesaw shape, so axial bonds longer than equatorial bonds. And next BF4 negative, again tetrahedral. So we'll mark our answer as C, sp3d hybridization, seesaw shape in SF4. Right? Okay, guys, let's move ahead. The major product of the following reaction is, there is an organic reaction given to you. There is the benzene and the reagent added is this NO2. Now you have acid H positive. So H positive has two options to attack, and where it will attack, the other carbon will become carbocation, right? So my H positive will attack. There are two carbons. It get attracted toward the pi electron density of this. So it will attract here, attack here, and this will be the resulting, this pi electron density shift here, H positive will attack here. This is the carbocation that is formed. Why? Why not here? Because carbocation, the stability of carbocation matters, right? NO2 is a withdrawing group. Carbocation, if it is more close to electron withdrawing group, it becomes more unstable. So we have to make a stable carbocation, right? So here it will be the formation of carbocation, and this now will attack your benzene ring, right? So here it will attack on your benz from here, that will attack on your benzene ring and get attached to it. Got it? So the main point here in this question is the formation of a stable carbocation, right? So of course, this electrophile, this is the electrophile generated which will attack the benzene ring. No complications ahead. So we'll mark our answer as B. Right, guys? I hope you got it. Just be careful. Okay. A stable molecule containing atoms or molecule ABC of the following structure. Which of the following is the combination? There is a structure given to you. You can see here. What can be the possible? So there is one atom which is forming a single bond. There are two atoms which are forming multiple bond. One is forming a triple bond. Another is also forming a triple bond, which can form a triple bond. So I can say triple bond, group 15, nitrogen phosphorus family, right? So nitrogen phosphorus, because A and B both are forming triple bonds, and C should be a halogen forming a single bond. So we'll mark our answer as A for apple, right? So basic knowledge of chemistry helps us to crack this question. Okay, which of the following alkenes, now the question number 16 of your mock test, which of the following alkenes have E configuration? That means the higher priority group should be on the opposite side of the double bond. Let's check. Starting with the first molecule. Oh, this will not show geometrical isomerism because on this carbon same groups are attached. So no geometrical isomerism. On this is the first priority group. On this carbon, this is the first priority group. They are diagonally opposite, so we'll assign the configuration E here. Now there's this double bond. First priority to this. On this double bond, first priority is to iodine. So again, higher priority groups diagonally opposite. It is also E. Now let's check here. This is the double bond. Oh, on the carbon, we have two chlorine, same atom on the same carbon, no geometrical isomerism. So the answer that we should go ahead with is second and third. Both has E configuration. In fact, first and fourth cannot show geometrical isomerism. They are not satisfying the condition. So C is the answer. Now the next question. What is the correct sequence of reagent used for converting nitrobenzene to meta-dibromobenzene? So we need a meta-dibromobenzene, right? Yes. Okay. So nitro, we should have two. Nitro is a meta-director group. So let's do the bromination of this benzene ring so that we get a bromine at the nitro position, and then we'll convert nitro to bromine, right? So how we can do? Add Br2 and Fe. So we get meta-bromo, right? At a meta position, because NO2 is a meta-directing group, we'll get a bromine here, right? Now we have to convert this NO2 to bromine. How we can convert it? Now first NO2, do the reduction, make it as NH2. Then make it diazonium salt, right? On benzene diazonium salt, on CuBr, HBr addition, you will get, instead of diazonium, and you will get bromine there. So we can follow that sequence so that we can get two bromine at the meta position. So what should be the sequence? First the bromination and then conversion of NO2 to Br. First reduction, which will make it NH2, then diazonium salt formation, and then we can have this. So I can see the sequence here given this, right? Done? Yes, so the answer that you will get here, of course, be very careful guys, is B. See the bromine and then reduction by HCl NH2, diazonium salt formation, and then diazonium salt will give bromine. Okay, what is the degree of unsaturation? The next question, question number 18th, the degree of unsaturation in this compound. Very pretty simple question. So how many rings are there? We have 4 rings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rings. How many double bond? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 double bonds plus 4 rings. Total 13. So 13 should be the degree of unsaturation. Pretty easy, very quick to answer. The answer should be A. Right? A should be the answer. Okay, now the next question please. Which of the following shown graph does not represent the relationship between incident light and the electron ejected? So the kinetic energy of the ejected electron in photoelectric effect depends upon the energy. More is the energy of quanta, more will be the kinetic energy if the frequency of incident radiation is more than the threshold, right? So the first graph is correct. The electron will only get ejected out if the energy of the incident radiation is more than the threshold energy, right? So first graph is correct, right? Second, the frequency, same applies for frequency up to threshold frequency. If we are incidenting the radiation below threshold frequency of the metal, no electron ejection. After that, on increasing the frequency, we'll get the ejection of electrons. So by this logic, the C graph is not correct because it's not that. Because we need a certain minimum frequency to eject the electron, right? It should be like this. This is the incident frequency. This is the kinetic energy. And this is the mu naught. You should have frequency equal to mu naught or greater than that to show the photoelectric effect. The ejection of electron having kinetic energy. Now the intensity of light. Intensity of light doesn't increase the kinetic energy, but it does increase the number of photoelectrons ejected. So the kinetic energy of photoelectron does not depend upon the intensity. It depends upon frequency and energy of incident radiation. The number of photoelectrons ejected depends upon intensity. So whatever may be the intensity, if the condition is satisfied that the incident radiation has frequency more than threshold, so the kinetic energy remains same. So I hope you got the answer. The C graph is not the correct one, right? So the answer is C. Okay. Now the next question. A process has delta H 200 joules and delta S 40. Delta H and delta S both are given to us. Out of the values given below, choose the minimum temperature above which this process will be spontaneous. For the spontaneity of a process, you know, delta G should be negative, right? That means delta H minus T delta S should be negative, right? That means delta H. Now you know delta H, that is 200, you know delta S, that is 40, right? Yes, so I'm sure you get your temperature as 5 Kelvin. So that is the minimum temperature required for the spontaneity of this process. I'm sure you have solved such type of questions. So answer is orally, you can quickly, calculate it. The answer is 5 Kelvin. Next, the numeric value questions we have here. Okay, so we have the numeric value questions, guys, right? The numeric value question. So for the reaction, there is this reaction given to us. Okay, A reacts with B to form C and D, and the plot of log K, rate constant versus 1 by T, instantaneously it should click Arrhenius rocks. So we have Arrhenius equation, log K log A minus EA. Right? So the graph is between log K. So this is equal to y is equal to, so my slope of this graph, the slope of the graph, that is equal to minus EA by 2.303 R, that should be equal to minus, right, the slope you got here. From here you got the slope, that is the activation energy, right? You got the activation energy and also the temperature with the rate constant. You are supposed to calculate the temperature T, you are supposed to calculate. For that you need EA, you need log A, and K is given to you 10 raised to power minus 4, right? So EA you can calculate from here using the slope value, right? Slope. And now this is given to calculate log A value. K you can put 10 raised to power minus 5. EA you have just calculated, you can put that value. Temperature you can put 500 Kelvin, so that you can calculate log A. Log A value remains same, right? So log A value you get from here, log A value, again use the same Arrhenius equation, put the log A, put the EA, put K as 10 raised to power minus 4, and you'll get your answer for T. So Arrhenius equation, use the graph to calculate the slope, the activation energy involved in the process, just rest everything is given to you to calculate frequency factor log A, right? And that you can use again in the same equation. So I'm sure you all have done it the same way. You can check it, right? This equation you must have solved, and nearest possible integer you have to mark your answer as. So 5 to 6 using the Arrhenius equation you can get. Done? So you can check here if you have committed, though there are very pretty simple like calculations. So our activation energy, right, that is given to minus 10 raised to power 4, it will come out to be, the values are pretty simple, 10 raised to power minus 5 value, so log comes out to be 5. So very basic calculation involved, though the log is there, but not tough calculation, guys. Done? Please check if you have any mistake. Among the following, the total number of orders which are incorrect with respect to the property indicated. First, the covalent radius, magnesium, aluminium, silicon and phosphorus. As we move along the period, the size decreases. So that is the correct order. Next, isoelectronic species. So for isoelectronic species, more is the atomic number, smaller is the size. So the size should be maximum for nitrogen, nitrate N3 negative, then O2 negative, then F negative, and then sodium. Because for isoelectronic species, more atomic number means smaller size, right? So this I can say is wrong, because oxide should be having bigger radius than fluoride. So this is wrong, guys. Second is wrong. Ionic radius, very right. More is the number of shell, more is the ionic radius, but there is the exception in case of lithium ion and magnesium ion. Lithium ion, Li positive, is bigger in size than magnesium ion, written in your NCERT. Please keep in mind. So that is correct order. Now the electron affinity value, that is also correct, because the second period elements, they have smaller size that can lead to inter-electronic repulsion on adding the extra electron. So this option is also, so this is correct, this is correct, this is also correct. Now the next, okay, electron affinity value, again fluorine, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, as we move along the period, right, the affinity increases, but nitrogen, because it is having half-filled configuration, so the affinity is almost zero. So this is also correct. Again, affinity value, you all know, chlorine having more electron affinity than fluorine. So this is the wrong order. Because of the small size of fluorine, adding electron can lead to inter-electronic repulsion. So the electron affinity of fluorine is more than chlorine, guys, right? Now the first ionization energy order, silicon, magnesium, aluminium, and we have sodium, right? So that is also correct, because magnesium has a stable configuration, so it has more ionization energy as compared to aluminium because of 3s2 configuration. So second ionization energy, it is a previous year JEE Mains also, that energy required to remove the second electron, right? So this is the correct order. You can write the configurations also, indeed a correct order, previously asked in JEE Mains. So this is also correct. Nitrogen, third ionization energy, nitrogen third, you are supposed to calculate, remove the third electron, right? Now they all are from the same group, they all have same valence electron in the similar kind of shells, right? So NP, Sb. So as we move down the group, the ionization energy should decrease. So nitrogen, phosphorus, then there should be arsenic, and then there should be antimony. So this is the wrong order. So how many wrong? Which are incorrect? That is 3. So we'll mark our answer as the 3, right? 3 orders are incorrect here. Okay. Now the next question, 2 to 4 ml of SO2 reacts with NaOH. So SO2 का रिएक्शन है NaOH के साथ, ये बन गया हमारा Na2SO3. तो हमें कहा गया है जो SO2 है उसका वॉल्यूम दिया है, उसका टेम्परेचर दिया है, उसका प्रेशर दिया है, तो हम निकाल सकते हैं इसके मोल बाय यूजिंग PV is equal to nRT. We can calculate the moles of SO2. How we can calculate? PV by RT. Pressure is given, volume is given, temperature is given, and moles of NaOH can also be calculated by using molarity into volume. So these two react and form this. I hope using the basic stoichiometry, you can calculate the moles of Na2CO3 formed, right? So you can easily calculate the moles of Na2CO3 formed here, right? Yes, Na2CO3 formed here. You can calculate from the moles of SO2, the moles of SO3, right? The moles of NaOH, because all the information to calculate these moles is given to you. For SO2, use PV is equal to nRT. Everything is given. And for NaOH, you can use molarity into volume to calculate Na2SO3, which is the solute formed here, guys. That is the solute formed, right? Yes, so solute is Na2SO3. Now this solute is dissolved in water. The solvent is water. Solvent is water. 36 grams of water means how many moles of water? Moles of water is 36 by 18. That is 2 moles of water we have. The lowering of vapor pressure. So this is the formula. Delta P is P naught. Pure water pressure is given 24. Moles of solute and moles of solvent is 2 water. Moles of solid you can calculate from this equation. You know moles of SO2 reacts to 2 moles of NaOH. So how many moles of Na2SO3 will be formed? So you can easily calculate this two things, basic stoichiometry and RLVP. Very important colligative properties. Very important all the expressions, right? So guys, I hope you did it right. Assuming the solution is dilute. Done? So moles of solute, moles of solvent, and of course one thing you are not supposed to forget here is, because the solute is Na2SO3, which will dissociate to give 3 particles. Do not forget I here. Do not forget to use Venta factor I because this can dissociate, right? That is 3. Correct? So do not forget to use Venta factor here because the solute here is Na2SO3, which can dissociate. One molecule can dissociate to give 3 ions. So this is one thing that you might skip or do the silly mistake. So I'm sure you will get your answer, guys. So moles of solute is 5 and the solvent is 2. You can check your calculations here, right? So the best part is even the numericals in this paper, they are not having complicated, calculation. None of the numerical which is there like has the complicated calculation. Very pretty simple calculation, so that not much of your time is wasted in doing the calculation. So you can definitely save time in this chemistry portion. Okay, guys, the spin only magnetic moment of a divalent ion in an aqueous solution. Atomic number is 29. So atomic number 29 bole to copper, right? So atomic number 29 is copper. So copper 2 positive. Divalent, what should be the configuration? It should be 3d9, 4 is 0, right? 3d9 means how many unpaired electron? 1 unpaired electron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One unpaired electron, that means under root 3 and n plus 2 is the formula for magnetic spin magnetic moment. This is the formula n plus 2, right? So n is the number of unpaired electron. We put n is equal to 1 here to under root 3. That is 1.7, right? You have to round it off to the nearest integer. So we'll mark our answer as root 3 because we have to round it off. We'll mark our answer as 2. So we'll write 2 in the numeric value question. Very easy, very, very easy, pretty easy, right? 2 Bohr magneton. Now the next question, the number of stereoisomer possible for this complex. So we have this complex metal, symmetrical bidentate ligand. This type of complex we have, right? This is the complex that we have. This is the complex, this type of complex we have. So how many stereoisomer it can show? One geometrical isomer, it can show cis and trans. Yes, A opposite, so trans on the same side, cis. And trans will have a plane of symmetry, so no optical isomerism. Cis will have optical isomerism. So two geometrical isomerism, one pair of enantiomers. So the total count of stereoisomer has to be 3. Let me show you. So this is the trans auxiliary. It has a plane of symmetry, so no optical isomerism shown by this isomer. But cis can show optical isomerism, so it will have a mirror image. So total count, the total arrangement stereo isomer for this complex is 3. Got it? 2 geometrical, 1 pair of enantiomers. Total count will be 3. You will mark your answer as 3. So that's all for chemistry, guys. I hope you did really well in this paper, and all the best for the future mock test and of course the JEE Mains.
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Surendra Jain, Master Teacher of Maths in Vedantu. I'm discussing JMMT-04. This is question number 1 of Maths portion. Here we are asked any value that K cannot take if this system of equation has having only 0 solution, which means that we have unique solution. Unique solution means determinant value should be not equal to 0. And the determinant here is first we will get 2K and 3 and 3. In the second row it is 2y, and 2y can be taken on the left hand side. Then the coefficient will be k plus 2, and here it is 3. So 4, 2k and k plus 1 here. Okay, now we can use some property that if I subtract R1 with R2, R1 minus R2 if I do, okay, the first row will become 2 times k minus 1 here, and here minus common k minus 1, and here it will be 0. 2 k plus 2 and 3 here, 4 2k and k plus 1 here. Okay, now what we can do, we can take 2 common from the first column. What I can do, I can multiply by half to the first column and add to the column 2. So column 2 will be like column 2 plus half column 1. In that case, this determinant will become, in the first column it will be 2 times k minus 1, 2 and 4 it will not change. This will become 0 because this half So it will become after that, and this will be 0. And for this, it will be k plus 3, and that will be 2k plus 2. And here it is 0, 3, and k plus 1. And that should not equal to 0. So not equal to 0, that should be not equal to 0. Okay, so expand in the first row, we will be getting 2 times k minus 1 into this, that is k squared plus 4k plus 3, and minus this thing, that is 6k and minus 6. It's not equal to 0. So you can say this is having one root, that is 1, and this is a quadratic whose d is positive. That means it will be having real roots. So now you can only put the sum of values that k cannot take. I just need sum of roots. So here you can check this coefficient of k is minus 2. So sum of roots is equal to 2. So the final sum has to be equal to 3. So answer for this question should be C. Okay. Moving to the next question, that is 52. We are given a triangle whose sides are given by vector A and A cross B. A cross B has to be a vector that is perpendicular to A cross B. Okay, so this triangle has to be right angle triangle, in which side length of this side given by vector A has to be equal to 3, that is equal to the magnitude of A. Okay, and we can find A cross B also, magnitude of A, magnitude of B into sine theta. Okay, the magnitude of A is 3, B is 8, and cot theta is root 35, so sine theta will be 1 upon 6. So from this we get 4. This side will be 4, and other side is just hypotenuse. So from Pythagoras theorem it is 5. Hence the perimeter will be 3 plus 4 plus 1, that is 12. So A is the answer of this question. Coming to the next question, this is from differential equation. We have to solve this differential equation, and it is actually linear differential equation if I write like this. Y into secant x is equal to secant x minus 10x. Okay, in this integrating factor will be e raised to the power integral secant x dx. Integration of secant x is ln secant x plus 10x, and it is raised to e. So e and ln can be removed, so we get just secant x plus 10x. Okay, so solution would be y into secant x plus 10x, and on the right hand side this will get multiplied with this, it becomes 1 because secant square x minus 10 square x identity. This is x plus c, and we are given at x is equal to 0, y is 2. At x is equal to 0, secant is 1, 10 is 0. At x is equal to 0, this is 0, and hence c is equal to 2. Now they are asking what will be this y at cos inverse 4 upon 5. So I put x as cos inverse 4 upon 5, then secant x will be I think 5 upon 4, and tan x will be 3 upon 4. 5 upon 4 and 3 upon 4, and on the right hand side x is cos inverse 4 upon 5 plus 2. So from this we get y to be equal to 1 plus half of cos inverse 4 upon 5. Now because we are not given any such option like cos inverse 4 upon 5, so they are given cos inverse 4 upon 5, but it is not with half, so it is not the answer. Maybe we should convert this cos inverse 4 upon 5 into some other cos inverse, but taking this as 2 theta. If I take this as 2 theta, then cos 2 theta will be equal to cos upon equal to 4 upon 5. So 2 cos square theta is equal to 1 plus 4 upon 5. So we get cos theta to be equal to root 3 upon 10. Then we are taking cos 2 theta, cos 2 theta is equal to 4 upon 5 from this thing, then it means 2 theta is in first quadrant. So theta is also in first quadrant, so only plus sign is taken. So here it will become 1 plus this half into 2 will become 1. So cos inverse root 3 upon 10. Answer, I think I have made a mistake here. This is not root 3 upon 10, this is 3 upon root 24. Yeah, this is 3 upon root 10. Yeah, here also it is 3 upon root 10. So answer for this question will be, I think, C, that is 1 plus cos inverse 3 upon root 10. Now coming to the next question, that is question number 54 actually. We are given a polynomial whose value 0 is 2 and value at -1 is 0, and we are dividing this px by this quadratic x into x plus 1. So if you divide px by a quadratic like x into x plus 1, there will be some quotient q, and then there will be a remainder that will be of the form linear, because that is the 2 degree, so its degree should be at least 1 less than this thing, ax plus b. So if I put x is equal to 0, we are given p0 is 2, so that will be 2 equal to 0 plus b, so we get the value of b. And then we put x is equal to -1, we get value to be 0 here, so 0 here plus this will be minus a plus b. So from both of them we get a equal to b equal to 2. So this remainder rx will be equal to 2x plus 2, which is a equation of straight line whose slope is 2 and y-intercept is 2. Okay. Now coming to the next question, 55. Bit tricky question, please see. Here we are given j from natural number to natural number divided this one. So whenever we are doing this kind of question, make this diagram like n here and n here. Okay, and then I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now you can see the function is such that for n greater than or equal to 0, j is 3n plus 1. If I put n is equal to 0, this will be j1 and the value will be 2. Similarly, for 2 it will be 3 and for 3 it will be equal to 1. Okay, similarly for 4 it is 5, for 5 it is 6 and for 6 it is 4. So you can see first 3 values are connected to first 3 values but in some different order. Similarly 4, 5, 6 are also connected with 4, 5, 6 but in some different order. So this is my function g. Okay, now we are asking g o g o g. So please say in A option, if I take g o g of let us say 1 value. So first g will give you value 2, and second g will give you value 3, and third g will give you 1 because g of 3 is 1. So which is definitely is not equal to g of 1. Because if this happens to be true, then it should be equal to g1, which is actually equal to 2. So this is wrong actually. Okay, I'll come to C and D first, then I'll come to B. B is a bit tricky to say. Instead they are saying there exists a binding function f n to n so that f o g is equal to f. Now suppose there is some one-one function, that means I should have f o g of 1 to be equal to f of 1. Okay, because it is true for all x, so let us say for 1 it should be true. Now g of 1 is 2, this will say f2 is equal to f1, which is opposite to the fact of, it is 1, 1, because f1 and f2 giving you same value, it cannot be 1, so this is also 1. Now B option, there exists a function f such that g of f is equal to f. I can say directly, we can say it is wrong because g of something is equal to something, and same thing here is not happening for any value of any value in the domain. F1 it is 2, F2 it is 3, so there is no value you can expect same output which was the input. The only correct option remaining is now B. So please say how this B option can be correct. Let us try to solve it here. Suppose this is true, okay, in that case I should have f of g1 and put first 3 values, and these 3 values are sufficient enough explanation for all values because this pattern is getting repeated for all bunch of 3 values like 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. So f of g of 1 will be equal to f of 2 because g of 1 is 2, but if it is equal to f of 1, so it should also be equal to f of 1. Similarly, if I put x is equal to 2 here, so it will be f of 3 and that is equal to f of 2. Similarly, f of g of 3 should be equal to f of 1 and that should be equal to f of 3. Now this condition is valid only if all 3, f1, f2, f3, they are same. Okay, and similarly for other 4, 5, 6, even 7, 8, 9, these kind of relations will be valid if all of them are, same, like f1, f2, f3, they are equal. Okay, and similarly f4, f5 and f6, they are also equal and so on. Now the question is whether such function can be made onto, obviously it is not going to be 1, 1. It can be made onto if I give this as 1 one of the possibility. I give this to be equal to 2, okay, and so on. You can think of that multiple values here for f function are connected to one value in the codomain. But still you can say if I keep having like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see every value of this n is also connected to some value in the domain. So that is the condition for a function to be onto, or you can say range can be made equal to n. So this is definitely correct. So answer for this question is B. Now coming to next question, that is question number 56. Here we are given 9 distinct balls to be distributed among 4 boxes. Now 4 boxes, if you put 9 distinct balls, every ball has 4 options. So there will be 4 power 9 ways to distribute them. Then they are saying probability that B3 contains exactly 3 balls. So which 3 balls? So 9C3, and remaining 6 balls, each ball will have 3 options. So 3 raised to the power 6, and that is equal to k into 3 upon 4 raised to the power 9. So here you can see 4 power 9 is getting cancelled. We are getting k to be equal to 9C3 upon 3 power 3. 9C3 is 9 into 8 into 7 upon 3 factorial, that is 6, and additional 3 power 3, that is 27. 9 will cancel it 3 times. Okay, so we are getting 8 into 7 is 56. So 28 upon 9, which is almost 3, actually 3.111. So which the value of k, this lies in the set x belongs to R, x minus 3 less than 1. I think C is the answer. You can check. No other value is satisfying it. So C has to be the answer of this question. 56. 57. fx is 3 sine power 4 and so on, and we have to find increasing or decreasing. So for such questions, we need to do the differentiation with respect to x. So if I differentiate this with respect to x, so I will write it as 3 into 4, 12 sine cube, then 30 sine square plus 12 sine and into cos x here. Okay, see, every time you differentiate sine power 4 with respect to x, you will get 14 sine cube into cos. Here 30 sine square into cos, 12 sine into cos. So you can write this way also. Okay, so we can make some factorization. I think we can take 6 common. Yeah, 6 and sine also. So that will be 2 sine square plus 5 sine plus 2 into cos x. So this is 6 sine, and here factor would be sine plus 2, 1 factor, and 2 sine plus 1, 1 factor into cos x. Now in the interval minus pi by 6 to pi by 2, cos x is always going to be positive, because it is some portion of 4th quadrant and complete one first quadrant. So it will be positive. 0 it can be just 1 pi by 2. And similarly, this is positive always, because sine cannot have value other than between minus 1 to 1, so this is always positive. 2 sine plus 1 also, plus say minus pi by 6 to pi by 2. Sine value will be from minus half to 1. So this is also going to be positive. It will be just 0 at minus pi by 6 at the starting point. So I think everything is positive, only sine is going to decide when it will be positive and it will be negative. So you can say that minus pi by 6 and 0 and pi by 2. So you can say it will be positive here, it will be negative here, this sign I am talking about. So at 0 there is a change in sign for this f dash also. So this function is going to be first decreasing from 0 to, from minus pi by 6 to 0. I think this seems correct. And then 0 to pi by 2 it is increasing. So still seems correct. Let us see the options. This is correct, so this is definitely wrong. Decreasing from 0 to pi by 2 is obviously wrong, and this is correct. And entirely it is increasing is also wrong. So answer for this is C. Yeah. Coming to question number 58. Here you can do the rationalization. Okay, if you rationalize it, I think the numerator you will be getting root 5x cube plus 1 minus plus root 5x cube minus 1. Okay, 4 power 8. Actually, in the denominator, we will be getting 2, which will cancel 2 in the numerator. Similarly, here also, we will be getting square root of 5x cube plus 1 minus 5x cube minus 1 power 8. So this is like a plus b power 8 plus a minus b power 8. So if you open them, you can say the diagonal expansions will be similar, except for the fact here you will get alternate positive, negative, where here you will be getting all positive, 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 positive. So if you add them, you will be getting 2 times those terms which are with plus sign in both of them, and with the negative sign here will get cancelled with positive sign here, that particular term. So here you can say it will be 8 C0 5x cube plus 1 under root whole power 8. So under root and whole power 8 means it will be just 4. Then next term will be cancelled here. It will be 8 C2. 8C1 term will be there. And here it will be in power 6, which means it is 5x cube plus 1 power 3. And this will be having power 2. So this means it will be having 5x cube minus 1 power 1. And the next one will be 8C4 and 5x cube plus 1 power 2 and 5x cube minus 1 power 2 and so on. We are not writing all the terms. Now they are asking the degree first of all. So degree is obviously 3 into 4, 12. So A has to be equal to 12 because there is no minus sign, there is no possibility of cancellation. And every time you can say the highest power of x is 12. 3 3 is 9 plus 3 12, 6 plus 6 12. So everywhere your n value, that highest power of x is coming out to be 12. So degree will be 12. Now answer is n. N is actually the coefficient of x power 12. Now, for x power 12 you can say here this 5 power 4 will be coming from this bracket into 8C0. Okay, so here you can say both brackets combined together, you get 5 power 3 from here and 5 power 1 from here, so total 5 power 4 for x power 12. Okay, so here again 5 power 4 we can take common, so it will be 8C2. In the next one also it is 8C4 and so on, and it will go up to 8C8. Okay, now the sum of this kind of terms are alternate terms. 0 to 4 are there. So I can get an identity, we can write it directly. We can write it directly. This will be 2 into 5 power 4 into 2 power 8 by 2. So the sum of all dynamic coefficients will be 2 power 8, and it is just half of 2 power 8 by 2. This 2 gets cancelled. So we can write it as 5 power 4 into 4 power 4, that is 20 power 4. So the answer for this question should be 12 and 20 power 4. So this C is the answer for this question. Okay. Coming to next question, yes sir. Now coming to question number 59. We are given vectors to be coplanar. So you just need to make the point equal to 0. The first one will be 2 plus a plus b, then a plus 2b plus c minus b plus c. Okay, here it is 1 plus b, 2b and minus b here. And this is 2b, 2 plus b and 2b here and 1 minus b here, and that should be equal to 0. Okay, now let's say what I can do, if I subtract root 2 from root 3, root 2 from root 3, then I can say, or maybe what I can do, I will subtract root 3 from root 3 from root 2, root 3 from root 2. I am doing in this determinant itself. So here I will be getting just 1, here I will be getting 0, okay, and here I will be getting just 1. So likewise, we can do one more property like R1 also subtracted from R2. Okay, now I think here we will be getting just 1 plus a. Here this 2b will get cancelled, so a plus c. Here minus b will get cancelled, so minus c. That is what we are getting here. Now we can use another property because there is one more 1 here. Maybe I can subtract column 1 from column 3. Column 1 from column 3. Column 1 from column 3. I am writing it here. So this will be 1 plus a plus c. This will be 1 plus 2b and this will be 0 here. These two things will not change. A plus c, 2b, 0, and that will be minus c, minus b and 1. That will also be equal to 0. Now, if you expand along row 3, okay, Now what we are going to get? I think we are going to get 1 plus a plus c here, and 1 plus 2b here, and 2b here, and this 2 into 2 determinant should be equal to 0. Once again, you can use some property like I can subtract column 1 from column 2. So a plus c will cancel, 2b will cancel. Okay, so here the remaining calculation is just multiply 1 with 2b minus a plus c equal to 0. So we get a plus c is equal to 2b. So answer for this is B. This means also means actually A, B, C are in AP. Yeah. Coming to the next question, that is 60th. The number of real roots of the equation. Okay, please look at this question closely. I think very interesting question. If I take e raised to the power x as t, then it will be greater than 0, because even if you put x as minus infinity, this e power x gives you value approaching to 0 from right hand side, so greater than 0 always. Now then this will become t raised to the power 6, the first term here. Then I will choose this term minus 2 t cube here, and then I will take this term, that is 1 here. Okay, you can see why I have taken these three terms, because it is becoming perfect square. Now then I will take I think this term and this term. Okay, here you can take t common because it is e power 4t, so it will be t cube minus 1 here, and this is, and the remaining thing is I think minus 12 t square equal to 0. Okay, now you can see this is actually t cube minus 1 whole square minus t into t cube minus 1 and minus 12t square. Okay, now I think this can be factorized if you split this t as minus 4t plus 3t. Okay, and then because there will be minus 12t square, and then the factors would be t cube minus 1, I think minus 4t first, and other one would be t cube minus 1 plus 3t is equal to 0. Yeah, that's right. Now we can check which of the brackets are having real roots, and that too positive real roots. Let us talk about this bracket, which is t cube plus 3t minus 1. Now you can see plus 3t. You can see its derivative is 3t square plus 3, which is always positive. If its derivative is always positive, it can have at most one root. Okay, it can have just one root because it's a cubic also, so it will definitely have one root. And also at 0, you can see the value is negative minus 1. So while going up, it will cancel, it will intersect actually x-axis at just one point. So it will have one positive root. In positive, if we are having one positive root, we can convert that root into x also with some real number. So one root for this. Okay, now for the other one, which is t cube minus 4t minus 1. Here derivative is 3t square minus 4. If you make it equal to 0, the value of t will be plus or minus 2 upon root 3. Okay, so this will be something like this. It will be having point of maximum also, that is coming at minus 2 upon root 3, but it is waste for us because we are looking only for positive values of t. But point of minima is definitely a meaningful thing for us, and the value at 0 is minus 1. Okay, 0 will be lying in between. So if value at 0 is minus 1, your x-axis should be somewhere here. Okay, it should be 0 somewhere here. I am not sure about whether at minus 2 by 3 it will be positive or negative. It doesn't matter actually, because at 0 it is negative. Then there is a minima, so it will definitely be negative. And after that it is strictly increasing. So like I say, for t positive from 0 to infinity, there is just one point of intersection here as well. So this will be another root. This is also having one root only. So total number of real roots will be 2. So answer for this has to be D. Okay. Coming to the next question, that is 61. Here we are given area of region. Okay. Let us say which area that we are talking about. This y is between 2x square, which is actually upward parabola, and the closing straight line 4 minus 2x. So y is between 2x square and 4 minus 2x. Okay, now you can check this point has x coordinate to be 1, and if you put, so y is equal to 2. Okay, and also it's equal to 0 is a answer for this area only. Okay, so for this area, what we need to do, we need to do the integration from 0 to 1, in which other function is 4 minus 2x and the function is 2x squared. So area will be just the integration from 0 to 1 for 4 minus 2x square dx. Therefore, integration is 4x minus x square minus 2x cube upon 3. Put values from 0 to 1, we get the answer. I think just let's put 1 because 0 will give us 0. 4 minus 1 minus 2 by 3. So 3 minus 2 by 3. So 7 by 3 should be the answer of this question. So that is A. Okay. Half an hour. Yeah. Now take question number 62. Let E is some ellipse passing through this point and eccentricity 1 upon root 3. Okay. Now it is passing through root 3. Root 3 by 2 comma 1 and eccentricity 1 by root 3. That means that B square has to be equal to A square into 1 minus 1 upon 3. So this will be equal to 2A square upon 3. That is one equation. Okay. And also this part will be what? Which means it will be 3 upon 2A square plus y, not y square. Y is 1. So 1 upon b square, and b square I can write it as 2a square upon 3 equal to 1. So from this you can say a square is coming out to be 3, and if you put a, so b square is coming out to be 2. Okay, that is the values of a and b. Now they are saying there is a circle centered at focus F. Okay, this is the ellipse. So this is a focus here. The focus is actually AE comma 0. AE comma 0, which is actually 1 comma 0 because A is root 3, so 1 comma 0. So we have to make a circle with center is focus and radius is 2 upon root 3. Okay, so this will be something like this, which intersect ellipse at 2 points P and Q, and we have to find the length PQ square. We have to find the square of PQ actually. So for this, what we can do, we can write equation of circle, that is x minus 1 square plus y square is equal to 4 upon 3. This will intersect the ellipse whose equation is x square upon 2, x square upon 3 plus y square upon 2 is equal to 1. We can solve them. Okay, to solve them, I think it is easier to eliminate y first. So multiply this equation by 2 and then subtract. So what we will get, x minus 1 whole square minus 2x square by 3, and that will be equal to 4 by 3 minus 2. That means it will be minus 2 by 3. Yeah, minus 2 by 3. So we can solve for this quadratic. We will get two values of x. Okay. One value will get just we will get two values, but one of the value will be useless for us because this circle is going to be cut an ellipse only at 2 points, and 2 points should be so that they are symmetrical about the x-axis. So both will have same coordinate. You can solve it. So we will be getting x square upon 3 minus 2x, and then plus this of 4 by 3 here. Okay, let's multiply by 3. So x square minus 6x plus 5 equal to 0. So you can say the two values, x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 5. So obviously x is equal to 5. If x is equal to 5, we cannot cut our ellipse, but this point itself is root 3 only. So x is equal to 1 is the point which we are looking for. So this P point or Q point, both will have x coordinate to be 1. And y coordinate, if you put x is equal to 1 here, will be 2 upon root 3 for this and minus 2 upon root 3 for this. So this PQ will be equal to 4 upon root 3, so PQ square will be equal to 16 upon 3. So answer for this question should be B. Now let me tell you, although it is not obvious, but we see for this ellipse, this ellipse lot of intersecting if you check, which is actually called 2B square upon A, comes out to be 2 into the 4 upon root 3, which is actually double of this radius, which means if I take focus as the center and latest sector as the diameter, then obviously this circle will cut on the point which are directly above and below this focus. Okay, so these parts were supposed to be just at the focus. So this diagram is not that correct, but it should have been like this. This should have been a straight line like this. Okay, so both ways you can do it, but this is not that obvious. You will not be able to recognize or observe that latest sector is this end. So you can not do it directly, but this is proper. So basically this question is done. Coming to next question, 63. Locus of midpoint of the line segment joining the focus to the parabola. Okay, so we are given a parabola here. H coordinate for ax, focus is a comma 0, and we are joining this focus to a variable point, let us say 80 star comma 280, and we are asked to find the locus of midpoint, and let us say it is h comma k, focus is a comma 0, so here h will be 80 square plus a upon 2 and k will be just 80. So we can eliminate t using this k upon a and we will get the locus for this midpoint. So h is equal to a into k upon a whole square plus a upon 2. So h becomes x, so it will be 2x here is equal to y square upon a plus a. Yeah, so y square is equal to 2a x minus a. Actually 2x minus a by 2. If you take 2a common like this, then it will be a by 2 because it should have been, just 1 minute, a square here. Yeah, so you can say its directrix and often the directrix should be at x minus a by 2 is equal to minus of 1/4 of the latest sector, that is 1 by 2 into a. So for directrix I think we need to solve it, which is nothing but x is equal to 0. So answer for this question is B. Coming to the next question, 64. We are asked to find length of perpendicular from the point this to this line. Okay. Now to do this question, what we can do, let us say this is a line and on this the point is, let us say here 1 comma 0 comma, oh no, the point is not this, point is 0 comma 1 comma minus 1. Okay, that was actually the direction ratios of this line, 1 comma 0 comma minus 1. Now suppose this point beta comma 0 comma beta is here, and we are looking for this perpendicular distance d. Let us join this point with this beta comma 0 comma beta, and let us call this point with theta. Then this point, let us say P, this point let us say Q, then my D has to be equal to PQ sin theta. Okay, now if I mark PQ as a vector, okay, and this also is a vector on the line, okay, let us say vector A. The A is not used, so we can say this PQ sin theta is actually PQ vector cross A vector magnitude upon magnitude of A. If I open it, it will be PQ magnitude, A magnitude into sin theta, and this A magnitude will be cancelled. So we just need to take the cross product of this PQ cross A. Okay, what is PQ cross A? Let me do it here. PQ cross A. So first we will be PQ is Q minus P, so 0 minus beta. First of all, I think it should be I cap J cap. Yeah, first row it should be I cap, J cap, K cap, and here it should be 0 minus beta, 1 minus 0, minus 1 minus beta. In the third row, it should be this vector, that is 1, 0, minus 1. So for I cap, it will be, I think, minus I, minus 1 only. For J, it will be beta, it will be, minus sign is also there, beta minus this thing, so beta plus 1 plus beta into J, and for K it will be, I think, just minus 1, I think, yeah, minus 1, so minus K cap. Okay, this is what we are getting for this factor. I think I need to get the magnitude of this, which will be equal to 1 under root of 1 plus 2 beta plus 1 whole square plus 1, and for A magnitude would be just root 2. and we are given this perpendicular distance to be equal to root 3 by 2. Okay, so this 2 gets cancelled, and inside this bracket, if we do the squaring both sides actually, so we will be getting 4 beta square plus 4 beta plus 3 is equal to 3. So we are getting two values of beta, one will be 0 and one will be minus 1. And beta is not equal to 0, I am saying, so beta has to be equal to minus 1, that is C for this question. 65. A pack of card has one card missing and two cards are drawn randomly and they are found to be spade. Now please listen carefully how I am going to tell you this question. You can do otherwise, it is given in the solution. Suppose the first card which was actually lost. Let us say it was not lost, we have put it somewhere else. We don't know which card is there. So then we are drawing two more cards, one here and one here. And so on. Other cards are there. So these two cards we know they are spades. This is spade, this is spade. Now this card we don't know which card is this. But if we know these two cards, then including this and the remaining deck of cards, we are having totally 52 cards. Sorry, 50 cards, not 52, 50 cards, out of which only 10 will be spade and 40 will be non-spade. 40 will be non-spade. Is that right? Now the first spades we can say, sorry, it is not 10, it is 11. It is 11 actually. 30 minus 2, so 11. 11 here, and we have 39 here, 11 spades. Okay, out of which 50 I am talking about, other than these two known cards, this also and this also. Now, can we not assume that this is the card which we have to draw from these 50 cards, for which we have 11 spades and 39 non-spades? They are asking probability that missing card is not a spade. So, 39 upon 50 answer. So, A is the answer. You can do that way also using total probability law, which is given here. I will leave it to you. Coming to question number 66. We are given again one differential equation. Maximum value of function we have to find over R. So this is again linear differential equation. So it will be just like that. So integrating factor IF for this will be 4 raised to the power 2 tan x dx. 2 tan x dx. And for tan x the integration is I think ln secant x. So it will be I think secant square x because 2 is outside, ln secant x, and if you remove it will become secant square x. So here solution will be given by 1 into secant square x. Yeah, y into secant square x is equal to sine into secant square, means it will be secant x into tan x. Secant x into tan x. Integration dx, okay, which is equal to secant x plus c. Now we are given value at pi by 3. If you put x is equal to pi by 3, y is 0. At pi by 3, secant will be 2. So your c value is equal to minus 2. Now what is my function y in that case? Because c is not minus 2, so it will be secant x minus 2. And the secant square, if I take that side, it will be cos square x. Cos square x. So we are getting this to be equal to minus 2 cos square. I am writing c only for that, plus cos. That is my function. Now this is the quadratic in cos, which is actually downward parabola, you can say. Its maximum value should be when cos x takes value equal to 1 by 4. When cos x will take value 1 by 4 minus b upon 2. There it will be maximum. So maximum value would be, if you put 1 by 4 here, so minus 2 into 1 by 16. Minus 2 into 1 by 16 plus 1 by 4. So this will become, I think, 1 by 8. Yeah, 1 by 8. So answer for this should be, I think, B. Next question is question number 67. Consider 3 observations A, B, C such that B is equal to A plus C. If standard deviation of A plus 2, B plus 2, C plus 2 is B, then which of the following is true? Now please listen carefully. Standard deviation for A plus 2, B plus 2, C plus 2 or A, B, C will be same. There is a property, if you subtract the entire data by same number, standard deviation or variance doesn't change. Okay, the standard deviation is D, so its variance would be D square. Okay, now what is D square? Standard variance formula, it is equal to average of squares minus square of average, which is a plus b plus c by 3 whole square. Because we are given a plus c to be b, it will become 2b upon 3. I can multiply by 9 both sides, so it will be 9d square is equal to a square plus b square plus c square, and here we are left with 4b square, 4b square, because a plus c is b, 9 get cancelled, yeah, 4b square. So which of the following is true? So for first option, for a option, b square is equal to 3a square plus c square. Okay, I think I have made a mistake here also, because I have to multiply with 3 here as well. So 3b square minus 4b square will be just 1b square. You take that b square here. So b square will be equal to 3 times a square plus c square minus 9d square. So answer for this is A. Two lines are perpendicular. Okay. So those two lines are perpendicular. Let us write their direction ratios. 3, minus 2 and 0. Whenever we are writing like this, comma z equal to 2, this means this is equal to z minus 2 upon 0. So the third direction ratio will be 0. For second line, it is 1. And please notice the coefficient of y is 2. So I have to bring this 2 down. So its direction ratio will be alpha by 2. And similarly here it will be 2. Now these two are perpendicular, means their product, which is 3 minus alpha plus 0 equal to 0. So the value of alpha has to be 3 in order these two lines to be perpendicular. Then we have to find the angle between L2, the second line, whose direction ratio is now, let us write it again. It is 1, 3 by 2, comma 2. And the line 3 is having direction ratios to be, I think here I can write it as minus 1 and minus 2 and 4. Here coefficient is again 2, so 2 will divide minus 4, so minus 2 and 4 here, and it was 1 minus x, and we have to write it as x minus 1, so here it will be minus 3. Yeah, it is not minus 1, it has to be minus 3. Okay, now we have to find the angle between these two lines. So cos theta we have to find, do the dot product, so minus 3 here, minus 3 here, minus 3 here, and minus 3 here, and plus 8 here, and upon it will be this is just, I think, minus 1, yeah, and here it will be 1 plus 4, 5 plus 9 by 4, and here it is 3 3 is 9, 60, I think 29. I think this is also 29 by 4, so 2 will go up, so this will become minus 2 upon, yeah, minus 2 upon 29. Minus 2 upon 29. But if we are looking for acute angle, because for straight lines, I think angle can be defined from both sides. This is for obtuse angle. If we take for acute angle, then cos theta value will be 2 upon 29. So answer for this should be C. They are giving B. Let us see what's the problem here. Secant inverse 29 by 4. 3 plus 3, 6. Oh, there is a mistake here. This is not correct. Actually, 3 plus 3 is 6. So it would have been 2. Okay. So this is again 4 only. Yeah. So 2 into 2, 4 upon 29 we are getting for cos theta. 8 minus 6 is 2. Yeah, I don't know why. I was thinking of minus 9. So 2 into 2, 4 upon 29. So answer will be secant inverse 29 by 4. No other option is matching. So that is the answer. Coming to the next question, that is 69. Here we are given this determinant equal to 1. Now please say this is one standard determinant, like 1 a square 1, b square 1, c square 1. In place of a we have 1, in place of b we have x, and for c we have y. So we can write it as 1 minus x, x minus y, and y minus 1, and that is equal to 1, where x, y are integers. Now their product can be 1 only if they are either 1, 1, 1, 1, or they are 1 minus 1 minus 1. But we'll see x, y if they are different values, because if they are not different, then this product will become equal to 0. Okay, if they are different, then these three things cannot be, all three cannot be equal to 1 or minus 1. If they all are different, okay, and suppose this is 1, okay, this is also 1, then it has to be equal to 2 or minus 2. So this product cannot be equal to 1. So number of possible ordered pairs here would be 0, that is A. Okay. Coming to next question number 70. I think this is a simple question of integration. We have to do the integration minus into root 3. I think you can use the formula, or we can use some substitution also, like x is equal to 2 sine theta. X is equal to 2 sine theta. If I do this substitution, expression will become, I think, 2 cos theta into, for dx also it is 2 cos theta. So 2 cos theta square into d theta. When you put x is equal to minus 1, it will be minus pi by 6, I think. Yeah. And for root 3, it will be pi by 3. So we need to do the integration of 4 cos square theta, which I can write it as 2 outside cos 2 theta plus 1 d theta. Okay. And that will be 2 integration of cos 2 theta is sine 2 theta upon 2 plus theta. And limits are from minus pi by 6 to plus pi by 3. So let's put the limits. This sine 2 theta at pi by 3, actually 2 pi by 3 will be, I think, root 3 by 2. Yeah, root 3 by 2 upon 2. And for minus pi by 6, it will give you minus plus. So again, root 3 by 2 only upon 2. And for theta, these two will get added, which gives you pi by 2. So here it becomes, I think this will be root 3. Because this 2 will cancel these two, and root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2 is root 3. So root 3 plus pi by 2 should be the answer of this question. Root 3 plus pi by 2. Which option? No, actually 2 is multiplied with this pi by 2 also. So this is also cancelled. So root 3 plus pi. Answer for this question is A. Yeah. I think these are 5 integer type questions now. You are given x value, and then this is the expression where you can notice cos x by 16, x by 8, x by 4, x by 2, x, 2x, 4x, 8x, and 16x. So every angle is getting doubled. So this is a direct formula again, that if you divide by sine of x by 16, you will get sine 2 theta, sine 2 theta, sine 2 theta. So here you will be getting sine of 32x. And for that you have to multiply 2 multiple times. It will be actually 16 into 32 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, I think. So this will be 16 into 32. 1 minute. 16 into 32 is 2 power 4 plus 5. 9, yeah, correct. 2 power 9 only, that's right. So that is what we are getting. Now also we are given that x is equal to 16 pi by 518. Now please see, in this question, 32x plus x upon 16, if I do this plus this, it is actually 513 x upon 16. So at x is equal to this 16 pi upon 513, this will become equal to pi, which says the sum of these two would be pi, means these are supplement angle of each other, which means the values of sine should be same. So this becomes equal to 1 upon 2 power 9. So answer for this question is 9. Yeah. Now coming to this question, here we are given coefficient, we are asked coefficient of x naught 10. Now these brackets, if they are multiplied, every bracket, all of the coefficients, whether it is constant or coefficient of x or x square, they all are 1. So whenever you multiply them, you have to just see in how many ways I can get x power 10. For example, if we try to involve as many brackets as possible, then I think we'll take 1 from here, 2 from here, 3 from here, and 4 from here. And it will give you x power 10. So this way, you will get one term of x power 10. Now, if I want to include only 3 brackets, so what are the possibilities? I think 1 plus 2 plus 7 will give you 10. Similarly, 1 plus 3 plus 6 will also give you 10. 1 plus 4 plus 5 will also give you 10. Okay, so these are 3 possibilities if we are taking x from first bracket. If we start with 2 and then 3, then also I think we are getting 10. 2 plus 3 plus 5. But I think that's the only possibility with starting with 2. 2 plus 3, 5 plus 5, 10. So far we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, there are few more possibilities when I take x power 1 plus 1, x power 9 from some other bracket. 1 plus 9. That is also 10. Similarly, 2 plus 8, 3 plus 7, and 4 plus 6. 5 plus 5 we will not take because we cannot take same term 2 times because every bracket, every term like 1 plus x square or 1 plus x cube, they are exactly once. So x power 5 cannot be taken twice. So that is one. These are possibilities when 2 brackets are involved. Now there is one more possibility when just 1 bracket is involved, that is x power 10, and which is multiplied with one of all the other brackets. Okay, when I am saying 2 brackets involved means 2 brackets are involved where power of x are there and all other brackets will have 1, 1, 1 getting multiplied with those powers of x. So you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So answer for this question should be 10. Coming to the question number 73, here we let x tending to 0. Let us say 7 inverse x raised to the power 2024 upon x raised to the power 2024. I think this will become equal to 1. Okay, for that I need to multiply by x raised to the power 2024 here also. In this, what I will do, I will write it as 1 minus cos x raised to the power 1012, and then for 1 minus cos raised to the 2024 we can write other factors like this: 1 plus cos x plus 1 plus cos square x, and so on. This will go up to cos of 2023x, and power here it is 1012. Okay, so this will be just 1. Let me say there is a standard result: 1 minus cos x upon x square. As x approaches to 0, this limit is half. So here you can say it is the reciprocal of it as power 1012. So this limit will be 20 to power 2012. And here you can see when x approaches to 0, they all will become 111, and these are 2024 terms. So 2024 terms and raised to the power 1012. So here, I think this 2 power 2012. No. I think this is 1012. 1012. So here it will be 1012. Power of 1 plus 1 minus cos x is 1012. So here we will be getting 2 raised to the power 1012. If we divide it here, we will get 1 upon 20 raised to the power 1012 again. 1012 raised to the power 1012. So the value of a is 1012. We have to find a unit place. So answer for this will be 2. Okay. Coming to the second last question of this paper, that is 74. Here we are given f 1, 3 to 2, 7 is a bijective, means 1, 1 and 1, 2 function, continuous function also. The number of point of discontinuity for y is equal to GIF of x. Here, fx is a continuous function, bijective also. So it will be increasing like this. Now we will starting from 2 and then to 7. Both sides is open bracket, so you can write like this, or it will be going down like this. It will be going down like this. So it will start from, I think 7 value will be here and 2 will be at the end points. Now if you take G mains, okay, now the value from 2 to 3, then G mains will be just 2 to 3, and after 3 up to 4, the value G mains will become 3. Now 4 to 5, the value G mains will become 4. 5 to 6, the value G mains will become 5. And from 6 to 7, the value GF will become 6. So you can say number of point of discontinuities are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this will be same here as well. I think when you are taking value from 4 to 3, so 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 1, 6, 4, 4, 5, 2 to 3. So that is 1 point, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 7. 7 is not the point of discontinuity. So only 4 point of discontinuities are here. Yeah. Now coming to question number 75. We are given S and S dash are 2 circles of radius 10 and 5 by 2. And 74 and 40 respectively. We say, and circle S dash passes through center of S. Like this. So center is C1 here and center is C2 here. The bigger circle is having radius 10, smaller circle is having radius 5/2, that is 1/4 of this one. Okay, so this is 5/2 up to this point, and then they are saying a line passing through C2 which is perpendicular to C1 C2 is drawn like this. Meet S at A and B. And we have to find AB square has sum of digits equal to. We have to find sum of digits of AB square. Okay, so we have to use the Pythagoras theorem directly here. This is 90 degree. This is 5/2. This is the radius of bigger circle, that is 10. So this AC2 we can find first. That will be under root of 10 square, that is 100, minus 5/2 square, that is 25/4. So that will be equal to 400 minus 25, 375 upon 4 under root. Now this AB square which we are looking for is equal to 2 times AC2 whole square. So that will be equal to 375. So sum of digits will be equal to 15. 3 plus 7 plus 5 is 15. So answer for this question should be 15. That's right. So this completes the solutioning of this paper. I hope you will like the solutions of these questions. Thank you so much. I'll be back with few more papers very soon. Thank you so much.